You're really
No, I
hungry.
mean, what, I never had a need to do something like that.
I wasn't talking about that. All right, go ahead, boot your game up, boot your stream up.
There's still actually a good bit of Borderlands left to be dealing with, anyways.
That's a shame.
Oh no, it's the only thing co-op we have options to.
I know. That's also a shame. I'm telling you, dude, it's amazing how like rare they are. That's why I was kind of thinking about getting into like the old N64 era of things and trying like what you're saying with the whole remote play stuff. That might be worth looking into, but
Yeah, I think it would be worth in our time to actually look at those like alternative platforms for games and not just something like random Steam things.
I mean, I'm
I,
not buying a console.
well,
I have a Switch, and that's about as good as it gets.
I mean, obviously there's other means around that, but if you want to
Okay,
try
sure,
out some
but like,
latency,
yeah, I mean, we got to test it out at some point, just because it does open up our options. But I
I've
know like
watched
the N64 had a whole bunch of games. The biggest problem, and even like the PS2 era, like I'd love to play like Champions of Norath.
Champions of Morath.
Norath with an N.
Norath.
So I, strangely enough, I was talking with my coworkers, and someone actually brought it up. I was like, "You are the only other person I have ever heard that name come out of." Like someone's like, I've never heard anyone know that game before.
And I was thinking about we could always do like a Ocarina of Time or in multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean that's totally an option. So like,
Should I just go ahead and return that game we just picked up?
no, I've played it since. It's good to have it in the backlog.
Fair enough.
Unless you get $12 tomorrow, and
You know, just sometimes you get those days on the market.
I regret to inform you, but $12 is not going to help you.
Ah, yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, I don't think you can get the cheapest thing at a Subway with that. Um,
It's really depressing how that is. It's like
our games have
I think
gone.
I told you, but like my usual at Wendy's is Dave's double large
Yeah,
fries. Not the combo because it's a little cheaper if you don't get the combo. $11.11.
ugh.
It's just a double patty burger, man. That's insane price.
Yeah. Just give me the meat at that point. Why do I have
Right?
all this extra garbage on here? I don't need this.
Like, how much does that bun cost me? That tomato, those pickles? I don't know. They're too much, whatever they are. But yeah, it's pretty depressing how expensive stuff is these days. I actually didn't get groceries last week. I figured I'd just eat whatever I had.
Trying to see the audio.
And then I promptly wasted my money.
Had promptly invested it appropriately into very strong financial instruments.
Ah, yes, the financial instruments of website domain. I had that idea, and then I just bought the domain. Oh well. I don't have to worry about it until I'm like, for another 10 years. So where were we?
We were going to a lighthouse. I even had the thumbnail up for this whole mission and everything.
Did we already get the mission?
Yes.
We really should wait for getting the next mission, so we can get that intro.
Go drive your skiff around in circles very quickly. I find this sexually attractive.
What in the world?
Sup, yo? This here scooter coming at you from Sanctuary. I needs me some old ass scraps from y'all.
Did you make a custom thumbnail for this?
Yeah. Yeah, check that thumbnail out. Tell me what you think.
Fancy, very fancy. Although there seems to be one too many people.
You're not supposed to see that part.
Who's the third person? You gonna get a Borderlands god in here?
I mean, technically, if we include our NPCs, we're understaffed. See, we have our third person. It's the NPC up here. NPC. That's so much
one who
shorter.
stands.
That's so much shorter than her.
Well, I mean, she's like my height, just about. At least for my screen. I don't know how big my character model is.
Yeah, you're about the same height. I barely come up to her gut.
Ooh. Man, those early morning deployments are killing me.
For this dumbass crew. You know the #2 top killer of sand pirates? Scurvy. #1 is self-inflicted gunshot wounds, but
That one always gets me.
Will ya?
A few of my men deserted the ship when Sandman attacked. Could you kill them, please? Deserters really bug me since I only have one rule on my ship. If you join, it's for life. That and no fatties. Sorry, that was supposed to be a joke. Yeah, sorry.
I think that was aimed at my guy.
We don't take kindly to independent treasure hunters around here. We're Union Sand Pirates.
Union Sand Pirates.
Our union versus you. Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go.
Wow.
I just finished
Okay.
cooking up a badass meal at
You're picking up every subquest in this area? Dang.
You never know when you're going to need to run into a side quest.
He's a radio operator. You should go meet him.
This one's actually nearby.
I will puke blood into your soul.
Dang, this guy's looking pretty fresh.
Beyond that, he smells like a corpse somebody vomited up. I want to feed Shiv Spike to the sand grubs, but he stinks so bad they won't eat him. Get some condiments. We gotta make Shivy look appetizing.
I'm sure we'll run into most of those as we go along. Let's see. Here we go. The story mission. Alright. Take us on, Sand Pirate.
Hmm.
You won't find better merchandise anywhere else. I made sure of that.
Alright. I don't even know how we get a ship in here. I've been running around looking for it, but I have no idea how.
It's on the other side. Go across.
I need to get out of the way first.
I mean, you can, yeah. Where you going?
I don't know.
It's right here.
You said the other side. Here I am.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh.
Has it been a long day?
It's always a long day on Friday.
Yeah, with this.
I didn't even move. I just rotated my screen and I'm already out. Dang.
His notes say that if you take the compass to the top of the lighthouse, it'll show you exactly where the treasure is buried. Of course, Blade's notes also had a lot to say about society being secretly run by sentient tacos. It kind of went off the rails there near the end.
At least these feel pretty good to drive. Wow, 3 XP.
Yeah, we're starting to get a much higher level than the NPCs.
I think we gotta go up here.
Yeah, you're not getting up there.
Look at this invisible wall. Why? They could just not. I don't know why, but like, I get the sudden feeling that it's like everything in this area was just scaled up a little too much.
But now we're almost 4 or 5 levels higher than the NPCs.
Oh no, not that kind of scale. I mean like the actual model sizes of the objects in the area. Like the stairs? I don't think the model is supposed to be this big. I don't know, man.
Yeah, this DLC was the first one, so I think they had one of the contractors do it, and I guess some design thing has got goofy.
Yeah, it's like everything's 50% bigger than it should be. The houses seem okay, but like, there's like a wooden dock that we're gonna get to in a little bit. And look, from the where we parked, it looked a little big, like kind of goofy big. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I think it's a fast travel over there on the dock.
Oh, that's from making another spawn, vehicle spawn.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, look at the mini map. It has a little steering wheel.
Oh yeah, I see.
Unless you're about to tell me that that wasn't a steering wheel and it was clearly something else that was not steering wheel like.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels a little blown up.
Wait, that map is definitely much larger than the rest. I think to accommodate like the weird. Oh, this is all for you.
Wow, I can't believe it. They actually really are. Oh well.
And this whole, a lot of the maps in this DLC are on these like cliff faces,
Yeah, I've noticed that.
and yeah, a lot much harder, much more challenging to traverse than the others.
In a way, it's kind of nice where it's like it makes the place feel a little more open. Because you know the whole middle area is nothing but nothingness.
Yeah, that's understandable. It was almost impossible to get this map design-wise, like even in the generators, because like how do you say like, oh, on type of giant like mesa shaped like a tree, put a lighthouse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, they need to make like a parody DLC or something where the Borderlands guys go to a fantasy world. It's just like big tree and elves and junk.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, they did. It's
party.
called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. They literally made the whole game.
Oh.
They literally
Oh,
made
really?
that deal. That is the DLC we'll play, and they make a whole game out of that.
Is it like proper fantasy stuff, or we talking?
You know what? I'm not gonna spoil that part.
Okay, that's fair.
You might actually like that DLC.
Well, don't count your
You might
and
you might enjoy like fractional pieces of it.
I just thought that it'd be kind of funny, the duality of this game, which is basically Call of Duty in terms of shooting. Like, that's its thing. And then things that are typically not that.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, how'd you die? How are they gonna get that kill? Well, we're in trouble. Oh, there's a guy up there. Okay.
Am I healing you?
Yeah, you're healing me. I ended up getting second win. But
Yeah. Latency.
lag.
Yeah. I don't, it doesn't make a bit of sense. Like, we didn't have a problem last week. And you were...
It's because you hosted last week. You want to hop over to as host. So you made a mistake of joining me.
Yeah.
Wait.
Let's kill these
You
guys
did
first.
join me, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, how am I getting such bad lag for you? Like, when I'm hosting, were you getting bad lag at all?
Not noticeably, no.
How does it make a bit of sense?
I mean,
Unless, like,
I don't think
I
my
can't...
upload is
Unless I just
bad.
can't, commit. I wonder if...
I'm usually the host in my other games. I don't really have any issues.
I wonder if because I'm streaming and I don't have the affinity on the core separated properly, it doesn't know how to, you know, synchronize that.
Ooh. Do you have one of those AMD CPUs that has that? Where you have like split CCDs? I think that's what the term is.
Oh boy, I'm not
Where,
sure.
like one's 3D, one's not.
Hmm.
I've had issues like that. Like the sound for Baldur's Gate 3 just didn't work because apparently, if one is on the 3D version of the CPU and not the regular one,
They
you
never
just
can
don't get sound.
crosstalk.
Yeah, and it's only that sound. Whatever sound library they did had that issue. Everything else in the game worked perfectly fine.
You need
So it
to-
wouldn't surprise me if there's like an issue with networking somehow.
Man, it's just such a surprise that that's the case, though.
Yeah. Well, let's finish this part up and then I'm gonna need you to move a little bit. Let's finish this part up and then we'll swap hosts. So bear with it for a little longer. Get your comedy lag in there, I guess.
It does provide some comic relief. As like, can you tolerate playing the whole game like this just for like some, you know, clickbaity YouTube videos?
The whole game? No. No one would like that, not even the viewers.
A few moments at a time.
That's okay. This is a little early though to be getting hit by that. There's a safe over here I can't open.
Did you shoot the head?
I shot it, I didn't shoot the lock though. I didn't think it'd be that specific.
Yeah, and this little like ledge and lip I'm on doesn't make a bit of sense how like they decided you can just go over there. In the sense like why wouldn't you just like block that off to where they can't go over there if there's nothing gonna be over there? Invisible walls, you know?
Yep. It's a hallmark of Borderlands.
And then they'll have like entire sections.
Treasure before me, which you won't, of course, but just in case, be careful of the Leviathan. It ain't Roscoe, as I may have already mentioned, and Blade's notes say it will die to protect the treasure chamber.
That's a hint.
I feel like sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's a little hint to the story.
I mean, yeah. She's the guide NPC.
So like, is that like the proper term that we have to use? Like NPC, this is your pilot to your story. They do all the heavy lifting, talking for you.
I mean, I don't know if that's like the term, but that's what I'll call them. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like with open world games, if they use invisible walls, they're not really open world.
No, this game does not consider itself open world.
I mean, it doesn't really.
Nope.
Okay, well, no, I think was it the first game that they were trying to say that it's open world? I remember one of them was. Well, in any case, I feel like the term open world is not really defined a whole lot, and so a lot of people say like, and me not being one of them is why I phrase it this way, but like they'll say, oh, you know, if you can walk from one end to the other end, like, oh, let's see that mountain? I can go to the mountain. You know, the whole Skyrim thing, right? Then it's open world. And Skyrim's open world because you're not typically bound by invisible walls. Typically. I don't think individual areas really discounts you from being open world, but like at the same time, what the world? I shot this thing midway and it's just in the sky now.
I wish I could shoot things. There's like 10 rabid stalkers around here.
Dang. I hit that thing like 10 times. And very beefy. Can't kill this thing. He's got too much health. Oh.
I'm somehow getting updates on damage taken, which is kind of impressive. Am I like jumping around on your screen at all?
Yes, you are.
He's phasing in realities. He's going in between dimensions.
Killing me in a few hits. I've got so much health. And they like two-shot you. just throw a grenade on my face?
It's a homie. Yeah, you get like 600 XP for popping those rabbit stalkers. They're the worst.
Yeah, it's a decent chunk of XP. But anyways, the whole thing I was talking about is just, if you got invisible walls, I don't think it's really open world.
Like anywhere at all?
Yeah.
So, is
Just about, I mean, you have to have very minimal very minimal. Like, if you can run into it with your vehicle like I did earlier, yeah, you've just lost your open world status.
well, in the concept of this game where it has like a fixed map, does this make sense? Like, would you still call this open world when we have like a clear defined boundaries on the map?
So, like, is the definition of open world for you that there are no multiple maps? Like, would Skyrim count with its cities being separate?
Yeah, that is a pretty interesting thing to consider.
I think that it's still. I would consider this game open world if it weren't for the thing, because you're not like necessarily on the rails, but you kind of are, I guess, with these like, because these would be the equivalent of an RPG dungeon instance, right?
Yeah.
We're kind of corralled into completing the mission through these corridors, essentially. It's just, you know, core of pretty much any game, or most games anyways. So I don't think that discounts it from being open world, personally. Though Borderlands does have a lot of different maps. I guess you could argue that the world itself, the majority of the world is separated.
Alright. It's kind of hard to think of much commentary on that. I mean,
Thoughts? What do you think? What do you think quantifies a game as open world? Where do you draw the line? They got
I almost don't even like the term open world, you know, when we think about it. When we consider like open world, I almost think we have to really start defining what that means and what that is meant over time. Because it's one of those terms that almost seems like it's a selected. You know how like you go on the videos and like you choose a tag on it. It feels like that.
It does, yeah.
It just feels like I'm like tagging it with open world, but you know, like
You got some Gunzerker mods down here, by the way.
oh, all right. But I wouldn't consider this open world, but I wouldn't consider it a linear shooter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, we're not literally on the rails, so definitely not necessarily that.
huh? Really?
Like, when I think of something that's the pure opposite of open world, I think of Dragon Age 2. I think I mentioned it once before, but that game its dungeon design
Yeah.
was absolutely abysmal. Like, I just never seen a worse designed game, frankly.
Oh, I got a thing for you over here. Oh, you're dying?
Oh,
What'd you rather dying for?
Because everything two-shots you.
Oh,
Like, that dude hit me one time and he did 4,000 damage on my shield. It's insane. Thank you. Why is my screen shaking? Oh my god, I didn't know you could die in your inventory.
It's a multiplayer, yeah.
I took my kill.
I mean, I can't even do anything right
For
now.
sure kill. Ah, grenade got him. You mind resurrecting?
To me, you're like in inventory, all of a sudden all the NPCs are just gone, and then I hear, oh no, I'm dead. So yeah, open world's like it's just like a tag item on like how you might like talk about a game. Like you might say, you know, like shooter, but you can just only have like crossbows or something like that. Like, would that still technically justify shooter? I would think so, even if you're just using like crossbows. But or if you're just using
That's
bow and
a good
arrow.
point, though. I think if the entirety of the game involves ranged combat, then it's a shooter, regardless of whether or not it's a gun in the conventional sense. Because otherwise, I mean, you'd have to start arguing about, like, is a flamethrower a shooter game? You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't think anyone would argue that if the game involved Well, okay. I guess if it's like a top-down, maybe you wouldn't call it a shooter if it was nothing but flamethrowers.
I think we have the headache that we just don't have a good vocabulary to describe the interactions of the game environment. We have like taglines for characters that represent the game. Almost like a regular expression, you know.
Could you not?
You bring in what?
You are already finishing it there. Bringing in regular expressions.
Oh, I like this.
Sorry, I'm not an LLM. I don't understand what that means.
Oh, this little mod here might actually be worth swapping to for a little bit. Sorry if I'm shocking him. I literally have a combo for that, like right now. Aw, what? How did it end up here? Alright, this will make a bit of sense.
Oh, I'm over here by the quest marker, so you'll have to handle it yourself.
I'm pretty sure there's a side quest that takes us over here at some point. I don't know which side quests are actually like in the inventory because they decided what in the heck was that? Oh, I lagged back. There was no like way to select in between the side quests in this game through like the in-game. You have to be in the menu for it. They did fix that in 3. Yeah, Pre-Sequel didn't even have that feature. Pre-Sequel was just basically an extension of this game. Pre-Sequel was just basically like a DLC that just got too big.
Wow. Isn't it a pre-sequel? Doesn't it go before the story? How's it an extension?
In the concept of like game development wise. And so I also like the open world thing. We always consider the it's like the environment itself has to like meet a certain criteria, but it seems like it's almost like a fairly subjective criteria.
Yeah, I mean, there's no industry standard for these things. You've seen people try to like get away with calling Call of Duty an RPG kind of thing, and it's like some people you can make the argument, I guess, but there's always going to be a core group of people who just will never agree. And if I guess that core group of people includes most developers, well, that pretty much makes it official.
I wonder if I actually told in like OBS to not use one of the cores or something like that. Am I in a spot where I don't die instantly? No. I am in a spot where I would die instantly. I don't know if that would actually work, but it would be kind of an interesting experiment.
Oh, wait, hold up. Cursed pirate. Uh-oh, I might be really in trouble.
I'm not much help to you there.
Mr. Bubbles. Yeah, couldn't kill him in time.
Leviathan knows how close we are to finding the treasure, and he sounds rather miffed. Pretty awesome, right?
Alright, let me see if I can go into Task Manager. Go here, and how do I change resource value? Nope. Details? No, I have to go to the executable itself. How the heck do I change affinity on a running app?
I only use Project Lasso. That's the only way I know. I mean, I guess you have the task manager, but it's debatable on whether or not
I think you got to do it inside the details.
For task manager?
Yeah, set priority.
Let's just go to the processes.
Yeah, real time.
Tab and we'll find it.
Change priority. Hope that doesn't break anything. And then set affinity.
Well, you can do a restart here shortly.
To not all cores, to the first 4 cores. Okay. And then OBS. Go here.
What is this? The cursed pirate hit me through the darn bridge. I can't believe this. I died like immediately, by the way.
And did not use the first 4 cores. And now, if I mean, there's no way that's an Ethernet thing. If I can be connected to you, all right. I doubt that's gonna do me much good, but
Well, I need your help with this because they're killing me in one shot.
we just leveled up pretty well last time. How are we having
This game levels with you, you know that.
just when you're on stupid hard mode. I mean, this is honestly, this is not really stupid hard mode. This is just stupid hard mode.
I don't understand why we did it.
Hold on, I gotta do another thing. Apparently, I'm not in big turbo mode. CPU is gonna melt itself if I'm not careful. I mean, I got darn 16 cores. I shouldn't be having a core issue.
You good?
I won't know until we start getting shot at by enemies. As we attempt even further to talk about how open world is a thing. Like, what does open world matter mean to you? Like, what is your emotional impact by open world?
Well, what's an open world? The name of an open world game that you would firmly say is open world.
The only one I think would meet like the end-to-end open world, even by.
No, I just mean like if you were talking to me about a game, you would describe it as open world. It doesn't necessarily have to be like the perfect one, but you know that
The
one.
perfect one.
It doesn't necessarily have to be the perfect one.
The main ones that come to mind have been the more recent Zelda games, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild.
Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Like, as far as it matters, like, you can go straight to the final boss, and you can do the thing, and by all metrics, that would also mean the first Zelda game as well, since you could also just go straight to the final boss and, you know, tell them what's up.
Would you consider Ocarina of Time open world?
If you're someone like ZFG, yes.
I don't know what ZFG is.
He's
Is
a
that-
YouTuber I watch that pretty much just plays Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and knows all like the ways to clip through all the walls and everything. If you're someone like him, yes, it's a you know, busted right open world, you know.
But ordinarily, it's not.
I would consider it quite linear and not very open world.
So you're almost like judging it based on how the gameplay.
I'm trying to
work,
take in both.
whether it
I'm
limits
trying to take in both the consideration of the motions throughout the active field of play, as well as through the active story, because Ocarina of Time is still keeps you on rails for the story. You're really intended to do all the dungeons one after the other and get your item to go one after the other.
You don't necessarily have to do the one after the other, but you can kind of choose. Well, okay, I guess they do kind of limit you a good bit with the whole.
Oh my lord, that cursed pirate! Holy shit!
Yeah, and he just. Oh, yeah, the jumps that he's got.
All right, I don't seem to be lagging out this bad. Oh my lord, he just like.
He's got this like AoE. It's like if you're anywhere near
Yeah.
the edge, yeah, it even got you, and you weren't even on the edge.
Mr. Bubbles would die first.
I got him halfway, but like, there we go. Us working together, I can get rid of his shield at least.
Yeah, it seems like splitting up the cores might have helped that issue out.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna kill the cursed pirate. He's got too much health. Like, there's pretty clear design flaw with those guys. It's like they're a little too powerful with the health recovery and the massive health pool. If they're a 2 or 3 shot, I'd be okay with it, but they're like a 450 shot. Well, you're a 2 shot to them. And by you, I mean me, of course.
Somebody still cares?
Alright, lag is still present, but not as bad at the moment. Where did it go?
I don't know, it's like circling over here up top. was hoping to drag the cursed pirate away so it wouldn't do what it just did.
Really, it should just give you like a more XP dump, the more like it damages you.
He didn't even... What? He smashed his face against the side of the cliff and then healed. Excuse me? He can get you from there, by the way. I don't know why he's not, though. He will heal if he hits like... How? He didn't even hit me and he healed!
Oh, Lord.
I didn't take damage!
I can actually... I can punch him off the side. Hold on. Maybe I can do that.
No, I'm sorry. That's just not right. I didn't even take damage and he healed. Where did he get the health from? Because it wasn't me. Is he stealing the health from the cliff? Does the cliff have a health pool? I don't understand.
Ah, I didn't get him off.
I mean, he's almost dead.
Yeah, fire seems to definitely keep him suppressed. Oh my lord. The rabbit stalkers are easier to kill than this guy.
Cursed pirates are just straight up bosses.
What do you mean the boss was easier? The boss was easier. Mr. Bubbles is literally supposed to be a he's a BioShock reference. And so it's like you probably didn't see if there was a midget called Little Sis, which like I guess by the time of when BioShock 3 Infinite would have come out, this DLC would have been going through, so that game would have been relevant again. Yeah, between explosives and fire, it seemed like that's the combo for it. Honestly, the Unkempt Herald is just going to be like carrying us for the rest of the time. I will be keeping that guy updated, even though he's not a double penetrating.
You coming?
Yep. Oh man, this one is quite entertaining to do when you're playing on multiplayer, because yeah, you can't like interrupt it or anything. It's got to go all the way up.
Pretty neat. You can see the distance and everything.
Yeah, we're like, how can we push the bounds of the PS3 and Xbox? I know, slightly insane size geometry. You hear these words? All right, so back on our chit chat about see, this area's got some green in it. It's got some water.
And then the green's all brown somehow. I don't know how they managed to do that.
But yes, how do you feel about open world?
How do I feel about it?
Like, are
you gonna ask me the same question I asked you?
in the context of like Ocarina of Time, like, would you constitute that as open world?
Yeah, I would.
All right. So like, what?
I don't think the gameplay affects open world. I think open world's how you traverse the world itself. So it's like if the game is constantly forcing you to the next area, and you cannot go back, or the state of the world changes so much that you never go back, then that's not open world. It's like Ocarina of Time, you can kind of explore as much as you want wherever. You can constantly, you can go to the main city if you want to do some of the mini games like the bomb chew thing, or if you want to go do the horse racing or the horse archery over in the desert, you can do that. Like you're not really limited, but I'm thinking of like a game like, and I haven't even played the game extensively, but only from what little I've seen, or games like God of War, like the original ones. I don't know what the recent ones are like. You would just kill a boss, go to the next location.
Yeah, it's very linear in its nature.
Location. Very, very linear, and so like you don't really traverse the world in the same sense.
All right.
And you can kind of see where I'm getting at with that, where it's like Skyrim would satisfy, even though you do that, and why I kind of suggested this game maybe. The only caveat being that if you have a lot of invisible walls, suddenly you're impeding the player and how they're moving about the world, and I wouldn't consider it open anymore. Like, this is mostly open world. But there are a few crucial areas where it's very clearly not. Like, anytime you slam your boat, trying to jump into like a fort. But like Breath of the Wild definitely satisfies that and goes above and beyond.
So, this game is open world to an extent, but not meeting your full criteria.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to describe this game, I would describe it as open world to give you an idea of how you move about it. Because you do technically move between area and area, and there are instanced areas. But within those areas, they're large enough and mostly free enough. I could do it. But it is kind of like, I was thinking about it a little bit. You really are limited in how you go about these little areas, because we were pretty much forced on a linear path to this location, this lighthouse here.
Like we get
the area
we get
was
funneled
wide.
into like the linear space from the hub space.
Right. But I mean, you can see that even in Skyrim's design, if you've done some of their stuff.
Yeah, that's why I did enjoy. I did Skyrim when I played with the Open Cities mod. I think that just kind of like ties it together better.
Yeah, I think you'd be right about that. Did they do that with Starfield?
I don't. Starfield, I don't really know enough now to. I mean, I would
Okay.
only on the superficial level call it open world. We're about to use a lighthouse
some
that
mods.
requires sunlight.
Kind of hoping for mods on that Starfield. Maybe I'll pick it up if the mods look good.
It does say something about a game needing mods to actually, you know, be good.
I mean, that was Fallout for me.
I mean, I enjoyed it for the story because I was personally taking it slower.
What? I didn't rush through it. We took our sweet time in that game.
I mean, there was still so many like side quests and things like that we just never touched.
We did a few of them, but yes, I don't find side quests enjoyable for the most part. They're usually something that you do after you've beaten the game, you know, and then you're looking for more content. Not something to do while you're beating the game, otherwise you'll... Or on a second playthrough, it's a good opportunity to do like 100% all in one run.
Well, that's also kind of an interesting thing to consider is that like what constitutes what's like a good flow of a game.
Well, if it's majorly story driven, you do the story first, and then you come back and you wrap it up with anything else that you want to do. If you enjoy the game enough, you can try to prolong it as much as you want, but like, I'd really have to enjoy the game.
Because that's a bit of like the thing to think about is we have like the whole like it's a whole big world of Fallout and even like any of those games in that kind of like vein, and we look at it in this like how can we like say just because you can do all those things, does that actually mean you should do all those things? Is it like important to do those things? And what I'm kind of getting at is like, well, if you go to like a linear story, there's not much in the way of side stuff to do.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and let this dialogue finish. So like, and then what becomes necessary in a story just because it doesn't walk you down all the little like side areas, and like, are those side areas actually important to the story at all?
They probably shouldn't be if they're optional.
Well, that's an interesting kind of point to make. Like, why is that the case? Like, why would...
Because your story and gameplay should be cohesive and contained. Like, you can expand on lore and stuff, and you can expand the story a little bit, but it shouldn't be required to understand it if you're talking like side quests.
Because like when you mention that, I think, you know, a lot of novelists will make side series to their existing ones to fill in gaps, but they won't be critical to their actual story. But most people will still like go out and seek those particular elements of story anyway. Yeah,
because they would have enjoyed the series, I imagine. So more content is good content.
It's just, like, just kind of pointing out that the dilemma there. It's like, well, if you do get an expansion of the story while in the main game itself from the players actually doing that or not doing that. Like, is that not cohesive then? Like,
Just kidding. It's honestly been a lot of fun, but this is where you die.
you went quiet on me.
Yeah, hang on.
Well, apparently swapping this affinity did not help me.
Okay. Anyways.
You okay there?
Yeah. So, where were we with the...
Yeah, so like if there are side quests, relatively speaking, that do add to the cohesiveness of the story, whether that be adding in questions or filling in answers to questions that may have been had, do they take away from the from cohesion?
No. Why would they?
This seems like
But I'm saying that the main story should not require optional side quests to be understood.
interesting. But what if the story, regardless, is understandable, and it's the side quest is only there? They saying like the side quest is only like acceptable if like it only answers questions that didn't need answering. Is that a fair thing to say?
That's perfectly fine, yeah. Or like, you know, used to expand the world.
All right.
It's like if you do a side quest and you learn what happens to like a side character from that side quest that wasn't answered during the main story, but it totally, you know, something that's totally not required to understand the story itself, because, you know, it's just a side character or whatever. And that's perfectly acceptable. That's like ideal for a side quest. But you wouldn't want something like, say, in Skyrim, you do a side quest to figure out who Alduin is. Right? That would be kind of... Uh-oh, you've messed up.
So it seems
Here's the big baddie, and you know nothing about him the whole story, or you know very little about him.
well, like the one time you actually like are forced to talk to him, or the like one or two times in story missions you actually talk to him. It's like, oh, here's the baddie.
Which is okay if you don't meet him often, but like... You should at least know about him. I think one of the first things you do in Skyrim is find Alduin's wall. And then, you know, you learn about him. Because that's kind of crucial to the whole story of understanding what's going on.
Explosions coming from the lighthouse.
That's an understandable point to come from.
I see Captain Scarlett
I'm more of a more is better kind of deal myself, but I understand the bit there. But it is, you know, like you mentioned, kind of a case basis.
Like, the side quests in this game are kill 20 bandits over here, grab this thing over here. And
Like,
do
yeah, all the
this.
side quests definitely set themselves up to just be like puns and a joke.
Yeah. And I mean, they've got like... I have noticed a thing or two where it's like fleshing the world out as you do them. And
Yeah,
I think that is a good use of side quests. They definitely shouldn't be required to, like, understand what's going on. Like,
until
if I have
they're-
to do a side quest to understand why we're here, you've made a mistake. That's the main quest.
Well, now, on that note, then how many games have done that? Like, how many games have required you to, or in some way, shape, or form, like made a side quest essential for learning that kind of information? Because I can't personally think of things.
It's not usually the case. I mean, I can't think of any either. But at the same time, I usually wouldn't play a game that does that for very long, and it would be immediately forgotten.
If it's any consolation, I meant
All right,
everything
I guess
said
we'll
to
swap
you.
hosts real quick.
Awesome warrior, a real
Yep.
stand-up individual. But my men and I just reached the spot pointed out by the lighthouse, so this is where I say
Yeah, since we'll both have to save and quit. Alright, I'll let you join me then.
But that just means that the side quests themselves are not necessarily required. So we shouldn't do them.
if it's any consolation, I meant everything I said to you. You're an awesome warrior, a real stand-up individual. But my men and I just reached the spot pointed out by the
No,
lighthouse,
she's gonna say it
so
again.
this is where I say
Because we saved in the middle of the sequence.
What the? Am I driving?
It looks like it.
Weird. Why didn't you drive?
You know, I gotta get you that good experience while it lasts.
Notice that whenever I say that's neat. You can see the lighthouse.
Neat. Boss territory.
And we can just immediately leave if we wanted to. Oh, wait, no, we can't. Is it a layer of the stomach? Okay, but like, why has it got one of those?
Welcome, customer. It's a fine day, full of opportunity.
Well, looks like we're ready for boss fight. You ready for a boss fight? Sure hope you
Or
are.
I'm ready to be one-shotted. 20 different times.
Nonsense.
It's gonna be a boss fight and 1,000 underlings, so who knows what underlings are inside of a giant worm stomach, but I'm sure they'll conjure up something.
Might as well go rid of that lob move.
Don't have too much
You ready?
fun.
Alright.
Our guns don't affect the walls. We have no chance of beating this big thing.
You like fighting big things, right?
So the bad news
Depends.
is the Leviathan swallowed us. The good news is it's taking us to the treasure room. But the best news is, do you remember my pet Roscoe?
Yeah. Do you remember fighting this thing in Borderlands 1?
Nope.
No. Well, we fought this thing in Borderlands 1.
We did? Yeah.
A thing like this, yeah. It didn't move around much.
It's some like Star Wars stuff.
Something different, right?
I mean, they did a good job with the side people not being like constantly shot at. It's a little flyy guys, but the number of them is a lot less, which is nice.
They had a wreck. Or Sky Hunters, because that's a... Gotta have that
Yeah,
name
whatever
change.
it's called. Well, they still do way too much damage. They're really more of a threat than the bosses, which is kind of an annoyance.
Yeah, you gotta kill one for that second wind.
I mean, I'd love to, but they're, you know, kind of hard to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, machine gun or something. How do the bullets go so slow?
You do have realize that that TDO gun is supposed to have a slow velocity, so it sticks to enemies. You might want to look at switching that one out to someone else.
Did more racks just spawn?
Yep.
Of course.
House just has second wind mobs.
Borderlands mechanics only hinder the game.
Alright, then what would you have done in this case? If you had if you were forced to do a second wind mechanic and
You die and then you go back to your last save.
man, that's pretty darn brutal.
It's better than being swamped by enemies during a big boss fight. I want to enjoy a boss fight.
Roscoe! What a shame. Oh well.
Wait, wasn't she on top?
Discretion is a part of running away. Till we meet again, Vault Hunter. Oh, damn, I dropped my pistol. Do me a favor and don't grab it, would you? Because that would be stealing. And stealing is wrong.
Okay, but like, does she plan on coming back into the worm to grab it?
Nope, man, that's a good upgrade for you.
It would be if I was one level higher. That's the problem with you being the host is, I guess you were dealing with this a lot when I was the host.
Oh, you were pretty laggy there?
No, where things are one level higher, the drops.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's not a big deal since, you know, only one level, but I think you're a good bit ahead of me. You're almost a full level higher, so.
Yeah, how far is that XP bar?
I'm on the last 2 notches.
Alright, I'm halfway through 40.
Well, I know you are. You set yourself a whole level higher.
I mean, it's not like you're limited to, you know, one little level here.
What was the thing that follows people? Was it the singularity?
Singularity pulls everybody in. The homing is the one that goes to enemies.
Ah, dang.
Is that big enough for you?
I mean, I have no idea how big it is. Well, now I do. Now, it'd be cooler if we could climb on top of it with a sword and then hit like the big glowy spots that are its weaknesses. And then whenever we hit the big glowy spot, it spews a bunch of blood. Like a certain game in the PS2 era.
Just that one era, no others.
Yep. Starts with a shadow, ends with a colossus.
Yeah, I never heard of it. Must have been a
Yeah,
discount
yeah.
bargain bin game.
Yeah, it's one of those like hidden classics, you know. No one really knows about it. I can't tell if I'm actually hitting this thing or if like we gotta hit in a special spot.
I mean, it's taking damage.
Yeah, but it's so slow, I'm not really sure. Wait, where'd all my health go?
That's rocks fall on you? Because that's a thing.
I don't know, maybe. Trying to kill these ones that are just like sandworms popping up, like. There we go, got my health back. And now I don't have any more health. No idea where the like 20,000 health went.
Did any
Half a
rocks fall on
second.
you? That's what's doing all the damage to us is if a rock falls on us.
I have no idea.
I mean, it seems like it makes sense that a rock fall on you would do as much damage as that.
If it did follow me, the game certainly didn't indicate it very well. Oh, I'm out of ammo.
We got ammo on the side.
Where? You talking about the chest?
Yeah, that's our ammo.
Oh, it's not a whole lot.
Did you need me to put on regen for you? I kept that class mod just in case.
I mean, it's looking like I don't have enough bullets to kill this thing.
You have to give me a minute.
Yeah, there's a lot of sandworms out there. I think we'll be okay.
Alright, let me swap it on. Hold on. Don't let me die.
I can't stop you from dying.
Nope, that's class mod I need.
This game has no sense of protection for your allies.
Alright, there's your bullet regen.
You sound really disappointed.
Why are you running out of bullets? This game literally prints bullets and just gives them to you.
Well, yeah, for you.
Why don't you? It should have been the guy who missed
For
me.
one of us, it's going to take like tens of thousands of bullets to kill this guy. This is... I'm not going to lie, it's a little miserable.
I would have sworn the blue areas were a little more crit friendly.
Yeah, I'm not getting any crits on him. Must be doing something wrong. I'm like losing half my bullets to these darn sandworms just so I don't die from them.
You know, have you always noticed like how games might have like a cave system like this? There's clearly like light going through. Like nobody like wander into like these caves, like through like that cliff face side, like exploring or something, and just like
Dude.
just find an open spot. You know.
I think about that every time, man. It's like you'll go through like a cave or something in Skyrim that's supposedly a long lost ancient cave, and you just look up and there's like a big
Hole in the ceiling.
chasm or opening for sunlight, and it's like, really, no one like decided to hop down here and investigate. No one's been in here for hundreds and hundreds of years. You sure about that? Yeah, like we can't hurt it anymore.
Yeah, we're supposed to kill these sandworms, and it's going to pop its tongue up above us.
Okay.
Oh, we got a sandworm queen. I wonder how worm-like these sandworms are supposed to be. Dang, I'm on the ground.
I hope you finish this queen hole. Dang, you do a lot of damage.
How are those bullets coming? You like that?
I have just enough to keep shooting. Yeah, it's not technically considered a crit.
Yeah, I wonder what side it was. That might explain why this fight always went on longer.
And I'm not getting any like music either, are you?
Nope, I know that's a notorious bug for this area.
Oh, okay.
Where there's no combat music for some reason. It's always been like that. Alright. See, we had to climb on it now, after it's dead. Also,
wasn't really sure.
don't look at the
This is
chasm
the low
bottom.
resolution.
Don't look down there. Oh no, you look down there. It was...
It's not that far.
No, I meant like not in the height-wise, but the texture-wise.
It's not a whole lot better than how blurry this thing's texture is. You see, when you do big mobs like this, you have to split the UV map up into multiple textures. You can't do a one big texture like they've tried to do here. You just don't get enough UV space when you get up close.
Can you tell that they've been this was outsourced and made for PlayStation and Xbox? It's amazing that it
Shadow of
works.
the Colossus was made for PS2, so
Yeah,
I will not
made
expect
for PS2. Yeah, it is.
that. Was this game not made for
So, it's the
consoles?
story of how the Vault Hunters defeated the treacherous Captain Scarlett and slew
Yeah,
the Leviathan.
nothing like
And as the sun set on
a
Pandora, the
barrage
Vault
of,
Hunters realized that
I'm
while
pretty sure we
they
can
found
skip this.
Captain Blade's lost
Hold on,
army,
I'm
the
listening
true
to the
treasure of
story.
sands had been inside them
That's been the
all
most
along.
exciting part so far.
The end. How was that?
That last part
He said
was
the end. That's my
really
favorite.
Yeah, it felt like
When it finally ended and
Extremely.
the suffering stopped.
But otherwise, you ended that story pretty well. For a dirty little orphan.
Thanks.
Ah, don't mention it. I gotta teach somebody to tell these stories when I'm gone. Might as well be you.
Yeah. I love you, Marcus.
That's weird.
Alright, nothing like them credits. It really feels like that was a bit, you know, phoned in on that last part.
I wonder, whenever I hear like a kid like that appear in a game, I'm always curious, like, did they just grab their kid?
Probably.
Like, the CEO was just like, alright, Billy, I need you to voice act for me.
Oh, so like, funny they mentioned that. I did, I was from Joe Rogan talk to Zack Snyder, you know, the
Oh, yeah.
director.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's
Sure.
that hey yeah part? But anyways, he mentioned how on a few occasions
Another guy.
he was just like, yeah,
know
oh,
that name.
I just talked to the guy. There's a chest down here, by the way. So it's supposed to be like a little secret hidden chest.
Can I get back up easily?
Yes.
That was the pain.
Easy is a word that gets used. Yeah,
Wow.
try that one up for size.
That's
Unless that was a
shame.
little disappointing. I would have sworn that chest had just like iridium in it. The actual chest cavity, it's up above. I guess it's supposed to be implied that the Leviathan was some sort of like vault monster, minus the actual opening of a vault part.
Yeah, getting up is exactly how I imagined it. Well, I'll be up there in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, but those are words that can be said for getting up here.
All for a crappy bazooka.
And
Betrayed.
it had a badass ranking part to it.
That's true. I think I gotta get like 10 badass rank or something. Which mine equate to 1% on like aiming or something.
And then you do that hundreds of times and eventually you get something. Which is just better aiming.
Yeah, I can tell this game has a lot of like.
They expect you to be playing for hours. I mean, like when, you know, fighting for your attention really wasn't that taxing. Or as,
Like trying to compete with RuneScape in terms of grind here.
didn't those
No,
RuneScape guys
RuneScape is something else.
release a new game?
Oh, actually, you're right. They did. I saw, and you know the funny thing is, I was watching the trailer, and I was like kind of just skimming through it.
Yeah.
I didn't actually pay too much attention, but like, the thought that was running through my head was like, huh. So the original creator of RuneScape made this. It looks exactly like RuneScape 3. So this guy really does only have one style.
Wait, there was a RuneScape 1 and 2?
One was like the OG one before 2001. Then RuneScape 2 is known as old school RuneScape. And then RuneScape 3 is like the modern one. That looks like your typical MMO.
Hey, I have a thing for you. There, take that.
Unkempt Herald.
Yeah, it's a good gun for you.
It's another pistol. I need less pistols.
Nah, trust me, you want to use that one. It does all the damage. Honestly, a little lackluster treasure hoard here. There's a homing Merv.
I'm surprised this thing was level 38 and not level 40.
Yes, yes. I wonder how that happened. Yeah. But yeah, like the background music isn't even custom track. It's just like a random track. I keep that Sandhawk updated because that Sandhawk's a good gun. That shotgun. Oh, well, now come back here, shotgun. You're actually. I want to see if you're if you want to go up from adoption or something like that. Would you like to adopt this shotgun?
Nope.
I mean, it's level 38. I mean, look at that shotgun. Find me something better in here than that shotgun.
Yeah, so much garbage in my inventory.
Yeah, it's one of these goober guns.
Alright, what shotgun are you talking about?
One there in the very middle. The blue one.
It's explosive. I already got an explosive weapon.
Is it better or worse than what you have?
I don't know how to compare 3,894 damage. But my pistol shoots more, has higher capacity. It does seem pretty decent. It's a high damage thing. It's just I already have an explosive weapon. The pistol you gave me just a minute ago.
Yeah, I guess I do have my setup in a different position than you were. I consider.
What?
Huh?
This is way better. What the heck?
What is?
This shotgun over here.
No, you can't be lying these things to me.
How are you gonna like pass me that second-rate shotgun when there's a shotgun over here?
Well,
Literally what
explosive
I'm like,
and shock are a little hard to compare there.
Well, I already have an explosive weapon handed to me by you just a minute ago.
You don't like explosives? Why don't like explosives?
Because you need to have like one of every element in this game.
Keep a
You
slew
don't
of
have your
guns.
slag to slag the enemies, you can't do damage. If you don't have your fire to kill the flesh enemies, you can't do any damage. If you don't have your shock to kill the shield enemies, well, what can you do? Naturally, you need corrosive for like bugs and stuff. Or armored things, whatever it is. We're playing an elemental game here.
It's all elemental.
Explosive doesn't have a part in it.
You got a pungent kill stick over there?
I don't know what that means.
That's what your guy just said.
He said he likes his something like his baby steaks. And he said rare.
Baby steaks.
Yeah, I don't know what he meant by that. Never really heard the term baby steaks before. I'm from Utica.
That Lighthouse snapper was elemental.
See, even you agree we need elemental weapons.
Well, Lighthouse should be. This was your lethal stopper tossing that one?
Yeah, I think so. It was pretty good, but no damage or something. No, wait, I think I still have it on. Yeah, no, that's not mine. I don't know what that one is. Alright, anyways, let's go then.
Alright.
I have no idea how we get out of here, so I'm trying to wait for you.
We gotta go back to Utica. Apparently.
This would be a good place for a nice aurora borealis, let me tell you. Just all inside here. Be really good. There's a secondary path. You didn't have to get on the monster at all. Oh no, this is one of those where it drops you off a cliff so you can't get back up it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic game design.
Yeah, that's what we get the let the interns do.
No, I mean, it's good game design, honestly, but it's classic.
It's classy game design.
Classic. I don't know if I'd call it classy, but classic for sure.
It's like a fine wine. All right.
Where are we going?
Would you be interested in trying to do one of the raid bosses?
I mean, I'll do whatever.
Those are like the main things they actually come for, the big raid bosses.
Here, I'll be back in 1 second.
Sir Hammerlock here with a bit of a job for you. I've heard tell some creature is sneaking around Hater's Folly, stealing treasure, slicing off faces, and the like. Sounds terribly interesting.
Alright, I'm back.
Hunt it down, would you?
Did I miss anything?
Oh, there's a symbol in that little building shack next to you.
Oh, thank you. I will take that. Do you have to discover all 4 in order to actually get the perk, though?
I don't think so. I think, well, like, you get the baddest rings in between, but it's just like less amount of points.
Ooh, ready to turn that in?
I finally got leveled up. Now I can use all the weapons I found.
Neat.
Oh, these pirate things are so wonderful. Jocko will love them, almost as much as he loves telling those hilarious jokes and not being dead of thirst. Much work for you today, my friend.
This one's gonna be interesting.
A pretty good setup.
I have pressing news. A Hyperion engineer has gone mad with power out in the desert. Perhaps the alien thingies of this planet have perverted his mind or something. I don't know. I have a plan. You will shoot him many times with bullets, and he will die. Be careful, though. He is very powerful. You may need to bring some friends as backup.
Yeah.
So, have you kept up at all with Satisfactory?
No, I have not. Why do you bring it up? Or what do you ask?
I was just curious. We're talking about co-op games, and, Satisfactory is a co-op game.
That
so I was
is.
just curious what it is, if they finished the story or whatever. Because they were still doing that. That was a work in progress when we were playing, wasn't it?
Yes, I have not kept up with it at all, to be honest. There's just so much these days to keep up with. I don't even know when to look back on things and get started on other things and so on and so forth. It's just such a impossibility.
Captain Blade built the Magnus Lighthouse a few years before he died. His notes say that if you take the compass to the top of the lighthouse, it'll show you exactly where the treasure is buried. Of course, Blade's notes also
Huh?
had a lot to say about society being secretly run by sentient tacos. He kind of went off the rails there near the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this is
what?
to like let you replay the story quests, so you can like go so you can go farm the boss.
Oh. Let's not do that. I don't want to do that fight again. That fight was awful.
All right, what would you like to do?
Not the same fight again.
Well, we can't really even touch the raid bosses until we hit level 50. So on to the next DLC, I guess.
All right.
We'll have to just like spin the moment when we're like past level 50 and just like get a bunch of meta stuff and just grind through all the raid bosses at the end.
I don't know if we'll still be playing at level 50, but sure.
Is the fast? No, there really isn't a fast travel here. The fast travel's way up over there by the start of the DLC.
Huh. Kind of weird. Did you say we get like some sort of angel coin or something? And that was the shop that you passed by a little bit ago?
Yeah. So we get when you kill the raid bosses, you get the seraph crystals, and
Okay.
that's what you get out of this, guys. You go to the seraph shop, and that's where you get like the crazy weapons.
Gotcha.
All right. What kind of DLC would you like to do next? There's 4 more.
Whatever you want, man.
I almost want to do the Torg DLC, but I think that one is my personal favorite. I think I should do that one last. And
Well, I don't know if we'll get through all the DLC. I think
Alright.
you're asking for quite a bit to say. Like, if they're all this long, yeah, I don't know.
then maybe
Say do the ones that you want to do first. So it sounds like the Torg one. So at least we'll have gotten to it.
well, there's also the Tiny Tina one that has the fantasy elements to them. If you wanted to pivot to a fantasy element,
I think I mentioned that just because it's fantasy doesn't necessarily mean I like it. While I do enjoy the fantasy genre, it's not like an exclusive enjoyment in that. I like everything that comes out of it. In fact, I got a lot of harsh criticisms on that, but a lot more than I have on gun games, let me tell you. But like, if you want to do that one, we can do that one. But
well, I was just
we can do
providing
the
you
Torg
some
one, we'll do
options
the
on
Torg
that.
one. It doesn't really matter much to me. Just choose one.
All right, then we'll just do the Torg one. And
So
cutscene.
like, I know what to really expect anyways. Oh, there it is.
Listen carefully, mouth breathers of the world. This is Canis, and I have found another vault. As you may know, the opening of the first vault 5 years ago.
I'm really not sure why the
reaction that
like
revealed
cutscenes are so quiet.
Pandora.
You don't want to hear about that, Vault Hunter. You want to hear about loot and pecks and explosions. I'm Tori, and I'm here.
Is that Hulk Hogan?
Get off this echo frequency, you protein-guzzling buffoon! I'm trying to convey.
Sentence had too many syllables. Apologize.
As we've discovered that this new vault is buried in the center of a large crater and will only open, and I quote, once the champion of Pandora feeds it the blood of the ultimate coward.
We at the Tor Corporation sincerely believe this is fucking awesome. It's so awesome that we're gonna set up a tournament to find us #1 badass. If you want in, come to where the vault is buried. In the badass crater of Badassitude.
That's not what the area is called.
Badass crater of Badassitude.
That's why it's the best DLC. Is this
That was
because
a pretty strong opening.
yeah, Torg is just such a breath of fresh air from the last DLC.
This is Mr. Torg, broadcasting to you from deep orbit. If you're here, that means you want to win our tournament. Open a vault and earn the title of #1 badass. Now, before you get started, you gotta digitally sign our legal waiver.
So like the whole like gimmick is that it never like the one line right there that is so easy to miss is that he's coming from deep orbit. He's actually coming from this like a satellite, and he's not actually on the planet. That means you never actually run into him in the DLC. You never actually meet Mr. Torg. And so as a response to that, they actually put him in one of the Headhunter DLCs. We actually like interact with him per the radio, and it's like, oh, there's actually a guy here that's talking to you. He does show up on the Tiny Teen DLC, which is why doing that one first. Like the DLCs actually do have like a bit of an order to them, just because of things like that.
It sounds like it's a relatively minor thing, but something for your lore, I guess. Ah, this is one of those throwy weapons.
TDR.
Are all TDRs that way?
Yes, that's the whole gimmick. So like the rocket launcher TDR says that you throw it and it's like a rocket launcher.
Let me know if anything catches your eye. Feeling overburdened, my buddy.
I'm pretty sure this was like the second DLC anyways. Well, did you sign it?
Yeah, sure.
Just kidding. Fuck the legal waiver. You're in Torgland now, sucker. Just head to the arena while I play you a sick guitar solo. Meow, meow, meow. What a now. Win, win, win.
Ooh, do we get a custom vehicle here too?
Unfortunately, no.
Dang.
We actually go back to doing
Oh no, now I'm getting that weird glitching. Oh no, it's just that spot.
the other DLCs. Well, the Tiny Tina DLC, they actually never have areas large enough for a vehicle. Like they're large. Don't get me wrong, they're very large areas, but they're all like more. It's much more linear.
We've been spoiled a little bit with those boats. They did a really good job on those.
And the so there is a custom vehicle for the Hammerlock DLC, and they leave something to be desired. Get you a little tour around the badass crater here. See the big arena in the middle.
Yep.
I do like the soundtrack for this game, this DLC.
Well, I gotta say, outside the roads and the giant tournament, the ground and everything's like, you could show me this and I would not be able to tell you where this is in the game.
It just looks like a base game.
Yeah,
Oh, we gotta go on the big ramp.
you know, same texture and everything.
Yeah, this DLC definitely was the lowest, or definitely the smallest, I think. So they were able to do a little bit more of the unique, or the more game to it.
Dang,
We-
those are beat. Oh, I got 4 badass rings for that. Wow.
Dang, look at that guy.
Wow, that guy's 2 guys and they're both named Piston.
You are now in the presence of greatness.
Do you feel like you're in the presence of greatness?
Sure. Can't talk to them though.
Yeah, apparently we gotta go to the start of the arena.
Oh, he turned around.
You got his attention. He's actually like looking at you.
I mean, it doesn't say to go in.
Yeah, apparently the map marker's got on the other side of the whole thing.
Oh, okay. So we hopping back in and going for it.
Yeah.
What is that like blob next to the wheel. On that like sign back there. Did you see it?
No.
It's on the other side of this building here. Yeah, that. What is that like fleshy blob next to the wheel?
It's like the
Oh,
the
it's smoke. Okay.
it's just like the tire moving.
Yeah. It makes a lot more sense when you view it further away. I don't even know how I saw it. Fleshy blob.
You know, how are we at the start of the arena if I literally did that? We just did this. Oh no, we didn't do this jump.
I don't think we're going fast enough.
Man, his grandma gummed somebody to death. Alright, gotta kill more people. That's what you want to hear, right?
My favorite part of the game.
That's the only part of the game.
At least my weapon's better. I just wish they would fix this problem with like the insta-die.
You need like some sort of like, you know, prevent insta-die, like on full health or something.
Nah, they just need to like times 10 the amount the shield has. Maybe times 50.
That's the perfect response. There's so many like good one-liners in this DLC. Obviously, you know, can't get caught dead with those. All right, look, there's a leaderboard up there. On top is Piston, then Pyro Pete, and then some guy his grandma gummed to death. I can't read number 4. What does number 4 say?
Fat boy.
And then there's Motor Mama. Looks like number 6 is just the Iron Trousers. Maniac. Stokes. Am I reading it? Stokes?
Oklahoma.
Oh. Biker Mike. And then Thaddeus Rex. Dang, that's quite the competition we got to climb through.
Thaddeus Rex is the best. I don't know why, don't ask me.
Hey, sometimes you got to pick fans by their name, right? Or you got to be a fan for the name. All right, so
I'm a real underdog supporter here, and he's number 10.
All right, so we killed Pistol Pete's guys, and now we got to kill Mama's boys guys. I guess Motor Mama.
What? Where's our guys? Everyone else has guys. What about us?
And we are the guys.
That's sad. We got the 2 of us. These guys got like an army. We've been scammed.
How'd you miss?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Apparently, the when you throw your weapon, it only does like 1/10 of the actual shot. I feel like in these gunfights, I played like dead more than not.
Oh shoot, we could have started. Probably meant to start the DLC back. Well, if we started back on normal mode, they'd be like level 20.
Is that something we should do now, or?
I mean, we can if you'd rather have easier gameplay.
I mean, it seems fine at the moment, but... Well, I should clarify that it seems now is like the damage we're doing. The damage they're doing is always just not very good.
That always is going to be the case.
Yeah, it's probably just messed up the balancing a bit. Maybe they intend for you to play certain ways that mitigate that I'm not playing. Oh, that's like a generic guy, Torg Enforcer. He wasn't really associated with these mama boys or whatever.
It looks like we killed those guys. Now we got to kill the Torg's competitors. These are just like random people. They were just given guns.
It's like Torg's competitors, excuse me. Should we be killing those people?
I'll be getting. Let us see, we're gonna get it before I got you up.
And to reload.
All right, this combo is leaving much to be desired.
Okay, well, this guy. To be fair, I was standing next to a barrel. Okay, that I don't know why I died.
You had a barrel next to you that explode?
That was how I died a minute ago. I don't know how I died just now. Probably because I was on fire or something.
Alright, gotta find Mr. Success apparently.
I don't know, we'll be doing loops all day.
Loops?
He said follow the scent of success.
As in there's no sense, so we just be doing loops?
Never mind.
That one fell right off the cliff on that. I'm gonna need you to explain that one.
I was just saying that we are the success. We'd be smelling ourselves, so we'd be going nowhere. We'd be doing loops.
I mean, after constantly dying like we have been.
But we're here anyways. That's success.
Rigging fights to gain your #1 ranking. Wow, Jeffrey. Well, I guess I say I'd have to do this. And then I tell them to never call me a shield.
Don't mess with #1.
And you can quote me on that. Hey, over here, newbie.
It's got like really short legs.
Sometimes that leg day just gets skipped.
So it seems.
Piston will take you under his muscly wing, and we will open that vault together. I've already set up your first fight in the arena. Get in there and show him that Piston and the Vault Hunter are a force to be reckoned with. Is it just me, or does it seem like he's gonna betray the fuck out of you?
Was it that obvious that he'll betray us?
I mean, we already know we're going to kill those 10 people on the leaderboard.
The very on the nose, obvious joke again. Alright, so this DLC, they decided for whatever reason, should have a whole separate, like, token system for getting high-level weapons. Yeah.
That's not too bad. 112,000.
You'll say something different the moment you realize the grind is real. Now that the paperwork is done, it's time to bust some heads.
Grind.
Sticky homing slag transfusion. How does it compare to my singularity? Shock damage is pretty darn essential.
Are you good? I'll take that silence as a yes.
Huh? What? Yeah, yeah, sure.
What is this?
You pay for ammo. We actually saw those at the final boss.
Oh,
Thanks for the ammo.
you stole my ammo. Wait a minute, why didn't I get the heal? Oh, maybe I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The Horde of Horrors versus the Vault Hunter. Fight!
It's that coward! Follow this, bitch!
From the wave complete. Don't get too comfortable. Next wave, bitches.
Maybe I'll still let you go! Hey! You're gonna win whichever... Second plan.
Holy crap. Are you still fighting these idiots? You're gonna have to pick up the pace if you want to be Piston's partner.
It doesn't matter how fast you do that section. He always says that line.
I was gonna say that was like 3 seconds into the fight.
Yeah, that's kind of like the one thing's like, oh, you're taking forever. Wow. Okay, it makes sense that he would say line. Oh, you do like almost instantly. Oh wow. Okay, something's up with that line.
Get surprisingly okay XP from these guys, I guess. I mean, 300 for a couple shots isn't terrible.
Are you using any of those guns I gave you?
Yeah. I am. Check and see your ass in that because you probably saw.
Oh. Oh, he
You
ran
know.
away. He ran away. Come back here. I'm still shooting you.
Yeah, he's literally hiding around the corner.
No, come back here. I'm still
He
shooting you.
runs away. Well, now I'm about to die coming over here.
I'm so happy I could kill you!
This message is irrelevant. That Vault Hunter's chewing through waves like a fat kid through a cookie store. Now I want cookies. Here they come.
I didn't sign up for this, damn it!
I heard the dialogue from the guys inside the crates before he even announced the final wave. And they came out.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they spawn on a separate piece, then a little not synchronous there.
It was just like that small window between when they spawn and leave the door.
Yeah.
It just spoke for some reason. I'll be good. God dang it, never mind. The arena Goliath actually killed my kill. Just kind of thinking on that guy. Oh, okay. Well, you gave me enough time. So okay, or not. I'm not sure what killed me. There's a lot of just like dying and, you know, big question mark on how and why.
I mean,
I
you
could
should,
be hiding in like one of these crates and then I'll just die.
you should have enough. These enemies should all be doing like elemental damage or have the option for it. It probably would be worth trying to get the Hellborn setup going. All right, that arena Goliath just leveled up.
Oh, he's not supposed to get his full health. It's not like a phase 2.
No, the arena Goliath kills enemies and levels up, and then gets his health back.
Lovely. I was just about to kill him.
Dang, that was 1400 XP on that. I leveled up.
Oh no. There goes my drops. Got too much XP, darn it.
Ah. Oh, that guy's a super badass. All right.
Yeah, he's got a lot of help.
Ah, I barely got that. Dang, I also 1300 XP.
Oh, he was a super badass.
I mean, that guy was in comparable range to that little 42 arena Goliath.
The Vault Hunter wins and is now leaped up to rank number 5 on the leaderboards.
Dang, straight up past Thaddeus Rex.
Oh no. Oh, you actually get to see the leaderboard change. Cool.
Take them. Piston thinks this will be the start of a beautiful relationship.
Yeah,
I think it'd make more sense if Piston was number 2 instead of number 1. And he was like colluding with you in order to get to number 1. Rather than being in number 1 to begin with. Because, like, what does he gain from getting rid of his competitors? I mean,
when he's already number 1.
yeah. I guess if they're, like, challenging him and he needs to get rid of them anyways.
What'd you get?
5 tokens. Wow.
You see the guys on the upper side of the arena? The audience members?
Sure.
Is the arena filling up with harm-strong gas? I've turned off the cameras. Just breathe deep and pass out like a good little cow.
Yeah, what if I stand over here?
Instead of like the obvious. I mean, it does make sense. The gassing does make sense because you have a huge, large arena. That's a lot of gas that's needed for that. Because he's in deep orbit and he's not actually physically present. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled for the action.
Some really shiny blood. It's got like a whole cube map of grass inside of it. You see it? It's like
they got that glitter blood.
It's, I don't know how to describe it. Like if you just go left and right on it, like the shine
I see what
is
you're
like
talking about.
10 feet in the ground or something. It's weird. You can tell they just use like a grass texture, but like that is a very strange thing to see. I mean, it looks really good when you don't scrutinize it though.
That guy just exploded.
That's every enemy in this game.
Huh. A lob Tesla, or longbow Tesla. You know what? That's kind of an upgrade. Minus the singularity.
You ready to go?
Yeah. We never come back to this anyways.
We're gonna ask for this chest. I can't believe it. It's all garbage.
You mean selling material?
Gonna be doing a little bit of Metal Gear Solid through this air duct.
All off screen.
What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, the Vault Hunter has disappeared from the arena. I don't know where the fuck did he go? Let me educate you, Torg. The Vault Hunter ran away. They found out they'd have to fight me, Piston, to become the #1 badass on Pandora. And they ran away like a little baby. Ran away? This is a travesty! I've got no choice. As As the head of the tournament, I must officially dub the Vault Hunter a coward.
At least they didn't kick us out. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
just interesting. After they'd be like, I officially disqualify him.
Nope. Instead, it's a redemption arc to show that you're not a coward.
I know you ain't actually a coward, but fuck that twist ending did make for some good TV. Still, you're gonna need a new sponsor if you want to stay in the tournament. Get to the beatdown.
Oh man, the beatdown.
Is that a
It's a
travel
location.
by car place?
Yeah. How do you like the fuchsia, the pink bandit? You know.
And somehow there's no saturation in it.
Saturation sliders almost at 0. Or don't they go negative?
No. I'm pretty sure. It obviously depends. You can calculate however you want. But I always see it as 0. Yeah, the whole color stuff's actually kind of interesting. So I once coded up a color picker, if you recall.
Yeah. Would you like? Do you have like a library to do that, or you make
No,
that yourself?
I did it myself. I even generated the texture pixel by pixel. So that way it looks sort of like Photoshop's.
Ah.
Sort of. Actually, turns out that Photoshop patented their color picker, so it's not exactly the same, but it's probably, to be honest, it's probably a little closer to how I think GIMP, the image program, did it. You know, the patent-safe Photoshop color picker.
Yeah, of course. Here we are in the beatdown, or on the way to the beatdown, which is a bar, I think. I think it's supposed to be a bar.
This looks like Fallout.
Ah,
Although it is a little more colorful than Fallout.
See, they got unique areas.
And yet somehow it's all dilapidated. I don't know if I believe their micro cameras speech earlier.
Micro cameras. They actually said micro cameras.
You didn't hear it?
I've gone through this DLC more than all the others, and I still like hear things all the time that I just never heard before.
I don't know. Earlier he was talking about how they have like a bunch of micro cameras all over the place, and that's how they see. I said, so like, I don't see any cameras. Where are they? He said, so that's why. They're all micro cameras or whatever. Paraphrasing, but you get the idea.
Oh, yeah, I have a different grenade.
So I don't know if I believe they're micro cameras if they can't even maintain a building. I don't think I've seen one pristine building in this game. The lighthouse is kind of close, but still dilapidated.
What dictates dilapidated anyways?
Cracks in the concrete and wall, the paint chipping.
Yeah, just like
Poor
downtown.
maintenance, frayed wires, bent metal, you know, the whole shebang. Here, I'll keep this guy slagged. Ah, yes. Melee in a gun game where you get mowed down before you get a chance.
You had a chance to do one melee.
I did kill one enemy, you are correct. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting them to explode.
Honestly, I kind of like walked over and joined you like some sort of anime arc thing or some nonsense or whatever. Where it's like,
Oh my god, what even? I was just electrified. I don't even know what killed me.
I had to take the guy.
That's fine, we were both trying to steal him. Well, I was trying to steal him, you were just killing him regularly. Oh, you can kill him. Slagged him up for you.
Ah, this guy didn't die.
He's almost dead. You can finish him.
That false hunter coward was like a child to me. I sponsored him, brought him up. And when he came down to the come down, he ran away in fear. How the mighty have fallen. Even with the whole coward thing, you're still the number 5 badass on the tour leaderboard. And Piston's number 1. You just gotta kill your way up the list, and then you'll be able to whip out your heroism and slap Piston in the face with it.
Yeah, we'd actually lose our ranking just because that. I mean, we actually did complete the thing. We just appeared like we ran away because all the people in the crowd, you know, just couldn't look down and see anything.
So that's why you pointed them out. You're right.
Yeah, they were all just like looking through the micro cameras that they had on them.
Of course. Is there any other way to view the arena? Certainly not through a chain link fence 300 feet up in the air. That just wouldn't make any sense.
That's 2 stories up. How could I possibly have observed from... There's an area in Borderlands 3 that's very similar to this kind of map. And I always think about that correlation when I first saw that map. I was like, wow, this is just like this area, the beatdown. Longbow slag and sticky longbow slag. One's got split. One does not have split. Are you dying again?
I'm actually pretty sure
Oh, you're
I
going.
don't know how I died. I'm telling you, dude. I was like crouched behind a wall, and they were shooting the wall, and I died. That could be latency. It could be that. That might be what I'm experiencing.
It's just enough.
Because I've been noticing a lot. I've just been dying when they don't have direct line of fire or line of sight of me. I think it might be latency. Usually the damage is fine though. My damage is fine. Their damage is very obviously hitting me somehow.
Those mysterious hurt boxes coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, I think I'm probably just like a few feet off on you, the host's computer, and they're shooting that version of me. I mean, these guys have some really good accuracy, so that's all it really takes. They'll get you through cracks in the wall and stuff.
Oh, like it was mine.
Yeah, I actually got a crit on him.
I got lucky in that one. Well, I'm not used to this new grenade. Did you get him?
I don't know, I can't actually see. They keep throwing smoke in my face. Oh my god. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Stop it! Stop it! I need to feel it all!
What's a safe spot? I've never heard of that before.
No. We don't allow those around here.
I tried to hide behind this little metal crate here. Still died.
See this? You see this one NPC? He's literally just in idle chill mode, sitting on the car.
Oh yeah, you're right. I need like a shield for my shield.
Definitely will have to upgrade the weapons next round.
The weapons and damage seems okay. It's their damage that's the problem. I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm not a really big fan of like one shots in video games, and two shots aren't far behind that.
Like in the receiving side.
Yeah, right. It's like a game's design should never really insta-kill a player. It's not very good game design, in my opinion. Doesn't give the player any chance to actually play the game like through their skill or anything.
It's the coward! You're gonna burn! Burn, burn, burn! Slay me, bitch! Fire in the sky! Let's talk! Fire walk with me! Fire talk with me! You'll kill Pyro Pete's ass at some point, but you gotta wait until you find out where he stashed that sponsor he kidnapped. Otherwise, you can't rise up the leaderboards!
Yes, apparently he kidnapped a sponsor, and that's what we're looking for. Oh, you know what? This whole time, I was like, man, why do I have so much assault rifle ammo? I literally have a perk on for more assault rifle ammo. When really, I probably should put on the pistol damage one again, so I can just kind of be OP again.
Got a bunch of junk. So much junk I gotta sell. Got a level 30 grenade. Level 29 relic.
Do you not empty your inventory?
I am constantly in these menus emptying my inventory, but somehow I still miss things.
Dang, they just like popped me right in the head. But yeah, there's like classic games, or in particular classic games that had a modding community, like we mentioned earlier. We should definitely keep those on the list.
There's a shame about that Skyrim one.
Yeah, you would think there would be more of a community on that, you know?
I mean, there's been a half a dozen attempts, but it is a serious undertaking.
Yeah.
And it's not like they have all the best tools to work with either. They have to like use decompiled stuff in order to hook onto certain things.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it'd be nice if Bethesda made a good co-op game.
One that wasn't, you know, co-op first and then was story driven. Honestly,
I mean, yeah, it'd still have to be like you can't take a page from like Rust's playbook, you know, where you got competitive multiplayer or anything of that sort. You can't do that. But if you have like a game where it's literally just Fallout New Vegas, but now you've got another player, like, you know, exactly how we played.
I was gonna say, like, as far as I've known, I haven't seen another game that does that formula better than Borderlands. And the concept of like drop in, drop out co-op, where you're gonna play the game, you can just play it.
Yeah, but you do lose a lot, and
The
unfortunately,
interactivity.
there's other elements of Borderlands that make it less than ideal.
Well, I'll lay those out while we have time, you know? That's what we're here for.
I mean, I've already been complaining about all of them. There's no need to beat the horse dead.
I'm talking about the multiplayer mechanic of drop in, drop out, the way it's done here, of capping at 4 players. You have basically your host is your pilot single player. Everyone else just comes in and adjusts the stuff, and obviously you can
I mean, have you
tweak
seen
those as you see fit.
Baldur's Gate?
No.
3 at all?
No.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. It's drop in, drop out, but you still have to play one of the characters present within the save,
Ah.
which I personally prefer. Like, you know, Terraria, where you can bring your character over.
Yeah.
I don't really like that style of multiplayer.
I know, like, one of the ways to adjust for that in Borderlands 3 was to have the synchronized damage bit. So, like, you would, if you're level 40, you would do you have been fighting level guys at 40. Well, I'm at 41, so I'll be fighting guys at 41. So, it'd just, like, you know, just to the level of the player.
I don't like that either.
I think it's a pretty good compromise. Basically, everybody's just playing the same game at the same time. I'm pretty sure that was a feature you can also turn off as well. Because they had, like, co-op, or then they had co-competitive or whatever. And I think that's what that was the metric behind if it was synchronized or not synchronized. But I think it was actually more related to, like, how loot spawned.
Yeah, that's okay. I do want that for loot. That's
Loot
pretty
separation.
important if you got a game sort of like Diablo or something. Diablo 2, my biggest gripe with that game. My bullets are straight up going through this man's head.
Also, there's a symbol over here.
Get out of the darn way, what the heck?
You able to get that guy?
My bullets kept going through his head.
You able to get that guy?
My bullets are going straight to his body. I guess I am getting some of that latency, though. I'm not rubber banding anywhere.
No, you're not, at least not obviously. Yeah, symbols there.
Yeah, no, I got a clip of me. My bullet's just going straight to that dude's head. I'll send it to you later. You can splice it in your video later.
Yeah, in like 10 years
You
when
know,
I get around to making it.
I was going to say that video, you know, you're working on.
You would think, like, oh, this whole time that, like, literally my break was kind of just sitting around all day and just really just taking in the day and trying to relax some.
Nope, none of that. You're not allowed to relax.
I know, right?
You should be making your own website. Are you making your own website? Everyone needs a website these days.
Can I put my machine learning project on there? Yeah.
I mean, if you did do a like inference or whatever they call it, whenever you like run the AI, you had one of those on your website, it'd be pretty cool. That said, I have no idea how you would afford that.
Yeah. Yeah, you've seen the problem here.
So no AI. Just don't do any AI.
Yeah, anything cool that would make your portfolio, like, you know, great for showing off and everything. Nope, don't do it.
I mean, you've got papers. Just put the papers on there. That'd look pretty fantastic on its own.
I only have one paper so far.
Okay, put that one paper on there 10 times.
Does ChatGPT adjust it and everything?
I was debating on whether or not I wanted to work on my website today instead of a game. I was in that kind of flow, you know.
You definitely get in that flow a lot more easily than I do. Like, when I don't have things like work right away, it's such a pain to, like, look it in the eye and say I can continue on this.
I'm not gonna make it. I need your help. Oh no, you passed me.
Martyr for my little one.
Well, you are going to respawn right here, so. So you can keep the fight going.
You're telling me I'm gonna spawn.
Literally
I'm
right where
just
you
gonna
died.
die? Maybe it'll let me travel this time. Wow, I don't even know where my shield went. I have 146 left out of like 11,000. Like, if I don't notice the bar going down, the damage is going down too quickly. They're doing too much damage or something.
How's my skin?
Traumatizing. I can actually change the head to other things. Wow, they're all garbage.
Who needs a medical
I see you have on the stream you have grounded apparently as the thing that YouTube thinks you're playing.
Oh, that's not good. Well, hold on. Maybe I can change that real quick. I was surprised at least the thumbnail's correct.
The website thing is looking good. I was thinking on working on actually deploying it last night, and so I started writing up the thing to add to my portfolio tab.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, as I was just about to save and finish up my article that I had written out, uploaded images for, did all my nice good stuff, I go to add tags to the article, and when I click the text box, it suddenly refreshed. I don't know what caused it, but I lost all that progress and I got annoyed and let stop for the day. So that's obviously a bug I cannot have. So now I've got to work on a feature.
Autosave.
Yes, I'm gonna do an autosave feature, and then I'm also gonna investigate that bug and figure out why the heck that happened, because that was exactly what I wanted to avoid. And so I went out of my way when programming that page to make sure that the session would extend and other things happened. And yet, for some reason, it still refreshed. No idea why or how. Sure, it's some sort of default Blazor behavior, but wow. I've been on other people's websites that do that junk, and it's awful.
Yep.
Like writing a post, writing a message, doing whatever, and then you click a button or something, it errors out, and then bam, you've lost your message. It's awful.
All right, go get him. Jimmy Jenkins is still missing.
Okay.
You gotta pick a fight with the drunks, you know.
Which ones? I don't see any badasses. Wait, how'd you die?
I got pwned in the wall.
And the dude who killed me just ran off immediately.
Oh.
Well,
I hope you got somebody.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know where that guy went. He rushed off pretty quickly before I could finish reloading.
Oh, I died. I need you. Oh, I died instantly. I may have been a little kamikaze in there.
Wow, a Torg token. They actually drop.
Yeah, that's like the only place they drop.
It's a pretty good homing MR. Homing Merv.
You are welcome.
Help over here!
So yes, the sponsor I kidnapped is in the bar. Go find her. This is not a trap. Yeah.
You're gonna handle that on your own, right?
You think it's a trap?
Here we go, my friends. It's Pyro Hunter. Fight!
Micro cameras, right?
Did he have a bulge? Excuse me? Wow, he's got way too much health. Though he does actually have a limited range, which is something no other enemy in this game has. I spoke too soon. I'll say I can handle this version. You can just keep doing this. Wait, if I run out of the water, do I get rid of fire?
Yep.
Okay, it's kind of funny that they gave him like all fire immunity.
And then if you actually have like the Hellborn build, you kind of are invincible a little bit. Because he'll just be like hitting you and you'd be healing faster than you can die from the damage.
It's a shame I don't have that.
With Pete dead, that sponsor chick he kidnapped shouldn't be far. Find her.
So technically he's actually a raid boss. At the after you beat everything, he actually comes back to life as a raid boss. And it's in the arena here. But the water, it doesn't constantly flow. So if you're playing the raid boss legitimately, you have to like pace out like how you make the water, spawn out, because he doesn't just use fire; he also uses corrosive as well, and it takes forever. But he's actually one of the few raid bosses that are actually like pretty viable to do without having to need everything meta. All right, go get that cutscene.
Now introducing the barbarian, the beautiful, the most buxom sponsor of the history of Pandora, Mad Moxie!
They gave her like jiggle physics.
Yeah, apparently a Kaiser character is supposed to be like well into her 50s. I'm sure age is a little unique
Not
in
really
the
in-
Borderlands world.
Not really into the clown thing.
I think it's time you and I became partners with benefits. Head back to the main crater and we'll talk strategy.
Well, this is a nice little exit.
And what do you mean by exit? Like just a tunnel?
I don't know. I thought we were gonna be like having to go through a whole nother like 40-minute level
Oh,
to get to the actual exit.
yeah. We gotta go out the same way we came in. Through all the enemies, they'd all respawn.
Ah, here's the real exit.
Mug with muscles like wet noodles. My pecs are laughing at you right now. You hear that?
There's a vault symbol around here.
Is that what that little thing means in the like, top left corner that appears?
Yeah, here it is. Oh, there's also
Oh.
a skin there.
I didn't know they got that small.
We saw one earlier that was this size.
You saw one earlier that was.
I even pointed it out, and you looked at it.
It didn't look that small then. Or maybe my memory's failing me. Who knows?
But yeah, this week I really just kind of let it just glide by. Try to enjoy my free time, but man, if you don't spend every last moment trying to hustle to something that makes you money, you really do feel like you slack.
With Pyro Pete dead, you're now the #4 badass on Pandora. Grats, motherfucker. Also, you should treat Moxie nice. Nothing is more badass than treating a woman with respect.
Ah, but no respect for the men.
And this was before those days. Man, this is like 2013 when we're talking about when this DLC came out.
Yeah, I just thought it was like a really weird thing to add because it's like, I don't think we disrespected her or anything.
No. That was like, at the time, like, no one in games would have really been ever, like, saying that. And then, now it's kind of overkilled in every little aspect. Like, you've heard about that Sweet Baby Games lady, right?
Nope. I don't know anything about that.
So apparently, she runs some kind of consulting agency, and quite a few times, she's consulted on recent titles that have, like, had, like, really, like, weird, bizarre stories in, like, the ways that we were just talking about, the little oddities that are that. And apparently she has some GDC talk where she's literally promoting terrorism.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, to get things done, you had to go to your marketing people and tell them and scare the shit out of them. That you can imagine where that goes from there. If they don't incorporate these changes or use a service. So yeah, lovely.
I don't know if a character's talking one sec.
The rank 3 badass is a cannibalistic
Roadhog named Motor Mama. You'll need to train a little before you take her on, but I've hired the best trainer in the business. Go meet her. Motor Mama's hiding out, just waiting for the other gladiators to kill each other off. Once you're done with your training, you'll be ready to lure her out.
Literally, the scooter's just hanging out in the corner over here. I never noticed that.
Scooter's in here?
Yeah, it's just in the back corner. Look at that. See?
No. Which one of these old men is Scooter? I thought Scooter wasn't old.
The one in the very back.
Oh, I see, yeah.
When you think murder, think Marcus Munitions.
I mean, do you not do any coding in your free time?
I have my little depth project that I've been working on.
Yeah, and I guess that kind of
Eats up my whole, yeah, it kills my whole day to do anything fun. I mean, I like doing it and I like thinking about the things I want to add to it. Honestly, I've done more of the engineering for it than I've done the actual progress for the project. But that's why I was talking about that workflows thing. I mean, I'd want to like eventually put a little like QT visual thing on it at some point and hook it into all that kind of material. This way I can like have it as a nice little like local application, or potentially even just run in a container where I can just automate the full testing suite. Yeah, it's really odd that in this DLC they decided to not give you both. Well, actually, no, we do have access to the Bandit Technical. We just haven't unlocked it in the base game material on the True Mode. Did it make any sense?
Nope. You talking about the vehicles?
Yeah, the vehicles. 'Cause we don't have the Bandit Technical in the base in the main story unlocked. We don't have them unlocked in DLC.
Didn't know that's what it was called, Bandit Technical.
And yeah, that's the runner.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the wild child, the queen of obscene, that girl who'll make you hurl. Tiny Tina!
Real zombie eyes there on that one.
Yeah.
Sup, Shouty? I'ma be your trainer. Right now you like pow, but when I'm done you're gonna be like, kill it, pow! Get your butt to the arena and let's do this shit.
So the odd thing about Tiny Tina is like her whole gimmick is like she has the explosives character, but then they make her the fantasy everything kind of character, which is like such an odd pivot in a way. Like there's almost like no explosion references in Wonderlands like at all, and even really in the DLC, also next to no references to the explosion thing. Like this is like the last time like we like do anything involve occur in explosions in the DLC about explosions.
It's crazy.
No, we don't get to keep the vehicle.
We never do.
Step one of my training regimen is food. You got to get those carbs, son. The back of the arena got tons of noms for the workers. Get some cookies so you can eat them and grow up big and strong and kick piston in a butt.
Also, the gimmick is that she doesn't understand how nutrition works.
I know you don't generally need the help of a trainer, but it'll go over great with the crowds. There's nothing the masses love more than a training sequence.
They couldn't just use montage in that one line.
Nope. Then they wouldn't have filled up enough time. I don't have any corrosive.
I sold all my
And-
corrosive guns because I wasn't using them.
I love how I had full health and then immediately down to 78 with one explosion from these guys.
See, you gotta see it like you have an old like tick style health bar, where it's just like, you know, amount of dots.
Yeah, I see it as more like you have a health dot.
That just
And that's
it's
it?
it's one
That's single
pixel
one?
just stretched over the whole thing.
Exactly. Alright, let's see. I got a couple corrosive weapons.
What explosion weapons do you have?
The pistol you gave me earlier. I accidentally sold my rocket launcher.
Oh shit, we went past a
Oh, snap! They got chocolate chip!
one of those. We'll go back against one later for resetting the skill points.
For real deal?
Of course they explode. Nope, that's mine. No, don't take it. No.
Not hitting them.
Oh, what?
He killed
How-
me because I let him just stick around.
All right, that was my bad. I should have just died.
I mean, I could have gotten you afterwards, but
All
you
right.
did manage to kill him though, right? That was your second win.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because these guys were around the corner yet.
I guess explosion stuff does work decently well.
Yeah, it's basically neutral against everything all the time. Alright, you've been getting those cookies, right?
Yeah, I got one of them. I assume you're getting them too, so you should be good.
Well, this shows on the mini-map it's behind us.
A lot of people think
Yeah,
you
sounds
gotta
like
eat
you missed
protein
one.
stuff if you wanna strength train, but I'm like, real badasses eat chocolate chip cookies. I'ma get that tattooed across my back in old English font. Wait a minute. Those cookies were chocolate chip. Those are raisins. Shorty! Destroy all the food dispensers! Wipe the raisin abominations off the map!
There's a chest over here. Don't mind if I do. And they're all green.
I just wanted chocolate chip cookies!
As she demands that we destroy the dispensers of food.
Holy stacks suck! Somebody's just gone after these treasures. In a few months, all the workers will probably starve to death. That is awesome!
In a few months, of course.
Cookies and I chocolate chip! You brought this on yourselves, Torg! You did it. Now we'll ever have to fall victim to that oatmeal raisin evil ever again. Come on back, Huggabutt.
And we just nonchalantly take every little response in the man and as if it were orders from a higher power.
Let me hear those screams!
You've been quiet.
Do I have to say something every few minutes?
Oh. No, but I hadn't heard you in a minute.
I'm still here.
And then that's when I run out of things to say. It's like, yes, conversation. I have conversation pieces. 3 hours into this thing.
Tell me some stories then.
You know, this game has lots of stories that I've already forgotten about. All the years and times playing it. Oh, the story's not about this game. Okay.
Well, I mean, most of that would just be like lore and stuff, right? Oh, there's a ladder over there. What do you usually do in the grounded stream?
Last week, or I guess last week, I was attempted to do. Wait, no,
Well, I mean, like, what do you usually do for commentary? Specifically?
I've surprisingly garnered an audience for the that streams. I'm always chit chatting with those guys. Which
So, like, do you usually just use conversation and dialogue between the chat?
Yeah.
To get the okay.
There's not much to say otherwise.
You gotta work on that describing what's happening, like all of them streamers do.
That is a skill set, particularly doing that late at night, and particularly that's a skill set if I want to do any of the stand-up stuff at some point. We'll also need to be able to do. I'm just not mentally active in the evening.
Yeah, get some stories together for the comedy stuff. Those always go well, at least for me.
I need to keep a list off to the side so I can start practicing that dialogue.
Yeah, definitely something you gotta practice. Unless you're some sort of conversational savant, it's gonna be very difficult to wing something like that.
Which is partially why practicing with another at these settings and these hours and getting the gaming going on is kind of essential.
I don't think you've been using the time to practice that, and I mean, that's okay. That's not really the intent of what we're doing.
I have not particularly spent the time doing the things that need to be done to actually get me further in my career and stuff.
I think you're looking too much into it as a career thing when you should be looking at the comedy and other things. It's more of a hobby. You know what I mean?
Started out as a hobby because if I think of it as a career, I'm gonna burn myself on it.
Not just that, but also you're not gonna make money. You don't want to set that expectation that you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
There's a pretty significant chance you could be going quite a while without. Just like with the YouTube stuff, And we don't make any money here.
It was really just this year, and though I was profitable doing the SPX trading this week, I wasn't as profitable as I could be. But I tried to think about all the stuff I did right.
Well, you don't want to get into that whole grind set mentality, which is, from my perspective, exactly what you're getting into. Where it's everything that you do feels more like a grind and a thing that doesn't help you relax at.
There's definitely that feel with the school material.
And I mean, that's academics for you. Not a whole lot you can do about that.
We're supposed to be in a vehicle, driving around.
Oh, our vehicle got destroyed. Okay, fine. Drive off without me. Make me run all the way back to the teleporter.
I was surprised I managed to even get a vehicle out. Yeah, the runner is technically faster than the technical, but the technical feels faster.
Oh, this is like an actual race. Okay.
Yeah, a little
well,
like time trial thing.
Hope we have enough time. We got a minute and a half left.
Yeah, this arena is so big you can actually leave combat areas where the enemies are, and they can start up a combat area after the fact. And so we keep like going in and out of combat, so I keep hearing like the combat music start up, and it's like, that's kind of annoying.
Did everything get a little more gray?
Yes.
What happened? I can't remember, was there a day-night cycle?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, we better hurry, we only got 40 seconds left.
And unfortunately, they make you do it. It's hard to push away from that grind set, as you mentioned, that mentality. It just settles in so quickly.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's
you're
that-
right, and it does require a little bit of, like, recognizing that it's happening in order to pull away from it.
And there's those things like you want to do things, you want to get better at stuff, and you don't want to be like stuck in the same garbly position of life.
But is it actually furthering you?
And that's one of those things like, can you even tell sometimes?
Probably not, but, like, you should at least be able to get some level of, like, you shouldn't up the stress is what I'm trying to say. Should be in the mentality of, like, it's not the high stakes kind of thing, so it shouldn't be stressful. But obviously easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I'm Motor Mama, and I see you've been trying to get my attention. If you like, we can fight each other and see which of us is the best. Sound fun? I'll be waiting for you. Don't let her voice throw you. Motor Mama is a stone-cold psychopath. I don't want to get too graphic, but let's just say she eats her own children.
Wow.
When that was like a hot topic thing to bring up inside a game, and now it's like if you don't have a strong, powerful female character eating children, then they're not a real character, you know. Though this game obviously tries to play it off of comedy,
Of course.
and you almost have to like ask people, hey, do you think I'm doing this thing in a grind set? Like, does my schooling thing sound like a grind set? Because honestly, it kind of does. And everything I attempt to do just feels like a grind set. Even when I was like working that the Ark and the Millennium job, like they just felt
Well,
like
those are the jobs, and I think some portion of a job's always going to feel that way. But, like, you don't want to see the comedy, the games, the
coding on the
streaming, that
side.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, these side things should be more viewed as a hobby with very low stakes and as something stressful that you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like, when they get to the point where they're monetized and they can become work, then you can, you know, work on expanding that, growing that, and stressing about that. But until then, it's like, you don't do yourself any favors stressing, because that's not gonna further it. You what I'm saying is, like, you have so low control over these things that, like, what can you do? But sit back and relax.
I'm glad somebody is actually making an effort to fight other gladiators. The rest of you horks are just sitting around waiting for challengers to come to you. Pussies.
And you know, it's just like you see in the success others have. It's like, why can't I not emulate that? But that's
Oh, yeah,
actually the wrong way to view it. Is like the best way to kind of picture it. It's like it's not a good idea to, you know, think, oh, if they can do it, I can do it too. You always have to ask yourself, should you do it? You know, like
Yeah, it's a very human thing to do, though. Like, compare yourself to that success and not see it in yourself and then feel bad.
And just like appreciate their success for what it is. And if you can start getting that pathway and it's not, you know, terribly challenging, then, you know, work it. Which is why I'm not like, you know, paying an editor or anything for the videos and stuff.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to do that before you're making any money.
Oops. Am I giving you the
I don't know,
time?
I'm so close to killing like any one of these guys, but they're like right around the corner.
And there's almost like in the sense of like you can play the games, but in at what point does like playing the games become anti-productive? Where like if you hit on the streaming, does like seem like there's an illusion of production?
Yeah, that'd be something only you could answer. I certainly don't feel productive doing this. I feel productive doing the projects that I'm actively working on and furthering those until completion. Because there's always that like nagging feeling where if you leave another project unfinished, then what was the point of working on it to begin with?
Yeah. And there's almost like a complaint like all the things that you're required to do that you don't get around to actually doing.
Yeah.
Then you go and then you play games. It's like, oh well, I did the things I was required to do or didn't do, and all those things kind of stack on top of each other.
Well, the required to do is something distinctly specific to academics, because with work, you know, assuming you have a decent job and not one that requires you, and you know you're not the owner of the company or anything, then work ends at the end of the workday. And so you don't have requirements beyond that. But whereas academics, you know, they bleed in with homework and projects, and you especially happen to be in a unique position where it goes beyond even those things with having to help people and so
Research and
on. Yeah, research, right. So it's like, that is something that shouldn't follow you forever at the very least, but I can't give any advice or any thoughts about mitigating that academic stuff.
And it is a bit of the like monetary pressures that keep things going. But in that grind set mentality, that's one like the big impactors and influencers of the behavior.
Well, I can say that if you had your own LLM website, you could probably get hired by Anthropic. And you know, their salary started at $300K.
That's unbelievable.
It really is.
It's really more like, where do these people exist? Like, who's out there able to hire these guys?
Anthropic, man, they got crazy investor money.
Well, I mean, like, where are these people, though? Like, who's able to train them up? Because who has...
Well, that's why they're $300K, is because the only way that anyone in that industry is going to get hired is if they have a lot of personal experience with that stuff.
Which is already fairly new and not very comprehensive material.
Like, you have to read up, you have to experiment, and you have to learn on your own. There's no two ways about it. But, I mean, if that's an area of your interest, you should probably do that. Start an LLM project, download one of those LLMs. You actually happen to have a computer that could run one, too, with your 16 gigs of VRAM.
Yeah, it's
You're like
pretty
one
crazy.
step below a darn 3090 or 4090, whatever it is. $12 gigs is like about the cutoff, which is where my graphics card is, so I never really bothered. But
just a few more gigs and you could have been running it.
yeah, I mean, I think I can run some of the like lower tier stuff, but you know, I particularly like that creative writing stuff, and it actually doesn't look like there's anything like that out there open source. But there's a lot of really neat ideas that I have regarding LLMs for like gaming and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
all right.
it'd be cool just to see it. Like, you know, I was writing a name parser, right?
Yeah.
And with your typical like, take a string, you parse out, and you put it into a format. And the string can like contain anything, and you've got to be able to recognize all those patterns and then convert them into a format. It's kind of like the ideal job for an LLM. Because traditionally, what you do is you get a billion different regex patterns. You run it through those, and you check for specific things that you know are going to reoccur. Like, let's say you're converting a file name over into maybe something a little more readable. Maybe you inject information into it. Maybe you separate that information into certain ways with like dash delimiters or whatever. At the end of the day, the string comes out in a specific pattern that you're looking for, but it goes in at a less recognizable pattern.
There is a symbol in here, by the way.
Okay. And there's just no real good way to do that outside those regex patterns, just a million regex patterns and just lots of code and loops and whatnot. But an LLM, you can technically train it to recognize those patterns. That's pretty much what they're for, right? They're like specialized pattern recognizers.
Weighted words.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, it's a bit more than that, not that simple. But anyways, they can be used for a job like that.
Yeah. How do we skip over? Oh no, we went there and now we gotta go
back.
to the door.
Oh,
Dang, she's a cannibal.
well, they didn't lie. But yeah, so like the thing with that is, if you wanted to do a project even as simple as just that, it would look really good on a resume because there's no existing, at least I don't know of any, libraries for interfacing with those LLMs in C#. It's like if you went and you made that, I mean, there's a million and one in Python, by the way, so it'd really just be taking the Python stuff and then kind of converting it to a C# equivalent.
Careful. Motor Mama loves vehicles. That's what attracted her to me in the first place. Oh, did I mention we dated for a while? Had to break it off when she devoured one of my other girlfriends alive. Nobody eats my lady friends but me. Oh, God. Too far. That was in bad taste. Vomited in my mouth a little bit. Sorry, the innuendo talk is a defense mechanism.
Anyways,
It almost seems like the game's a distraction compared to the nightly therapy sessions.
it'd make you a heck of a lot more,
Attractive.
make your resume look pretty darn good if you did that, though.
Yeah, I should get that star coder thing working.
It also requires you to look into these things in a depth enough that you would understand them when you're talking
Talking to
about
them,
them.
yeah. Which
Like
is
in
like,
an interview.
I brought this up before. There's this like gray zone that pops up when you're like in the loops of not solving problems. Like, you know how you get in the zone. It's like the reverse of the zone, where you're like in a pit, or like an answer pit, where all you want is just like the problem to be solved, so you can stop worrying about it.
Yeah, it's because you're not enjoying the idea of the problem. If you don't enjoy it, of course you want to be done with it. Wash your hands of it as soon as possible.
Yeah, you just view this as a taxing element.
There's a lot of times in any project, and you'll especially get it if you ever finish a project, where you don't want to wash your hands of it and be done, but you just got to push through. Like the downloader thing I made. I finished it, but I wanted to be done. I mean, I was complaining to you about how I wanted to be done with it well before I was.
Oh, what?
The guy over there I was about to kill.
Wait, what's the guy to your right?
What do I do? Oh, come on, one more shot. Ah, I had to reload.
I guess I'll take that.
Yeah, might as well. Came in, you blocked me from killing him, then you died too.
And then all you do is complain about your mild issues. What do you mean they're mild? I put a lot of work into those issues. They take up like 90% of my day.
Do you really spend a lot of your time like doing stuff like that?
Nah, most of the day was just been doing the trading and then getting upsetty and getting not upsetty.
Just put all your money in AMD and forget about it for 10 years.
A
Come
little
back to
late
it
for
at the end
that.
of 2025.
I literally though think I am kind of stuck with not being able to get rid of that Coney material just for the dividend payout.
Wow, it is pretty good, and you're pretty positive with it. I sold my Tesla junk.
Yeah, I'm a little
mistake.
late for selling that one. I just
told you. told you, man. I wanted to take the money and I didn't. I knew, but I still didn't do it.
I kept forgetting about it. I put way too many positions on. And now some of them
Yeah.
actually started rolling back.
Well, Tesla, I kind of knew was going. I was actually thinking about putting puts on Tesla ages ago, but I won't go too deep into the market stuff, I guess. But
There is a bit of a way to like easily get addicted to that stuff.
no, I don't particularly enjoy it.
I like the numbers. When you just
It's
like talk about the
probably a
numbers all
gambling
day.
addiction that you're feeling.
Oops, didn't mean to sell that one. So you think it's addiction, huh?
You said that. Those are your words.
Well, you said a gambling addiction, right?
Yeah, I said it's probably like a gambling addiction, and you're the one who called it an addiction first.
Well, I mean that those are just be of the same of the subcategory.
In any case, yeah. Oh, wow, you can get up here. And you can clip right through. See, there's no invisible walls here.
Can you walk down into the arena though?
I can clip right through this thing. Ah, you're too short to get up there.
Oh, my guy's too short. No.
Not me. I got where the developers never thought I could. I actually can't get into the arena from up here. Oh, I was going to see if I could get in here without triggering anything.
Can you go further?
Yeah. It would have been great if I could get on that hill. Maybe I'll try it again.
Huh.
You know-
Wow, a skin for a runner. I haven't seen one of these in forever. Dang, I got on all players must be present.
No. And you have to be in the middle of the arena, so I can't do this anyways. That's a shame. I'll be there in a minute. I gotta check the other side real quick. Ah, dang it, I missed my jump. Alright, let's do this. Is that a Papa John's pizza ad up there?
If you would like me to not eat you
Moxie's
until after
pizza.
you're dead, I understand and respect your wishes. I will also completely ignore them.
Is this Scooter's sister or whatever?
Nope, but they did use the same model.
Make it. I'm gonna kill you and make sandwiches out of your corpse.
It's that time again! Motor Mama versus the Vault Hunter! Right?
Do we not get a vehicle?
Nope.
I'm now joined via echo by the Vault Hunter's manager, Moxie.
Pleasure to be here, Torg.
Motor Mama is one of the deadliest gladiators this planet has ever seen, Moxie. What makes you think that your Vault Hunter has a chance?
Simple, Torg. Motor Mama may have a chip on her shoulder and a gut full of baby
I'm
flesh,
unused to
but
the
my
emotions
Vault
I am
Hunter
currently
survived
feeling.
a run-in with handsome Jack himself.
Holy it sucks! That's impressive! Ladies and gents, this is gonna be a
Wait, how do they know?
Because all DLCs are supposed to be set chronologically after the main story,
Last longer
Oh.
than my Vault Hunter.
which is why we didn't do them until after the main story.
Would they say that still if we started the DLC first?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, these DLCs were made on a budget.
that's kind of spoilers, huh? Don't worry, I killed all the people you're trying to resurrect with. Oh,
Don't worry, I
man.
killed all the guys who were trying to resurrect you.
Is this karma? I honestly didn't realize you were dead until I was like done killing most of the people in the area. Oops. Oh my god, I'm telling you, I die more from these guys than I do the actual boss. Oh wait, no, that is the boss, never mind.
I'm so happy I could kill you.
I didn't realize the vehicle got destroyed. Well, that's problematic.
Who's gonna get it?
I'm gonna die pretty quickly.
You with me?
What'd I tell ya?
Ladies and gents,
Oh, I don't get any audio from resurrecting.
number 3 badass on Pandora. This is one number higher than 4.
Well said.
Appreciated.
Hey, sugar, come on back when you're done over there.
I didn't even need to come in here.
Nope. Like, most of the time, like, you really do just hang out in that one corner where you start the battle. There's almost no reason to ever, like, run around the field and just keep them really close.
Is there no vehicle thing here?
Nope. We have to go all the way back. And there's no, we never even, like, see the, what is it? There's no, treasure or loot from that, fight either.
I have 13. You are nothing compared to me.
He just said he had a 13 pack.
Stupidity is a reoccurring theme in this game.
Yeah, you know, like they say, just let it melt and relax. But yeah, I think about the comedy thing all the time. How, like, I'd kind of rather do that in some ways. Like, the research is fun, and it reminds me, like, doing the day trading for a whole week, basically contiguously, kind of reminded me, like, why I'd rather not be doing that all right now every single day. Just because, like, it's kind of exhausting just to mentally sit there and wait for numbers just to move around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's great to see, like, the numbers go up in your favor, but darn, it's, boy, there's not much going on, that's for sure. And it's hard to, like, pull yourself away from something when you're just, like, trying to scalp all day. I think...
yeah, that's why I don't do it. See, I recognize these things, and then I just don't do them.
But when you, well, in my case, don't have anything better to do, well, when you, in this sense, don't have anything better to do, well, when like, I guess the better way to be, it's like, when that is, like, the more advantageous, you know, monetary position in the sense, I leveled up.
If you're able to make money. I'm about ready to be done, to be honest.
Yeah, this will be a good closer for the night.
Alright.
But yeah, you mentioned how, like, people do things for the hobby. For some reason, YouTube's started feeding me a bunch of, like, you guys who do game trades, and then a couple of them, one guy, like, started his own store. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily, you know, care to, like, watch it contiguously for, like, subscriber reasons, but it is interesting how, like, that's a perfect example of, like, someone who can turn their passion into something like that.
We're not all that lucky, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get that perfect algo at the perfect time, in the perfect spot, perfect place.
I can't talk to her until I jump on the darn thing.
Oh, you noticed that too, huh?
Okay, so that wasn't just me. Uh-oh.
Time to go for the number 2 ranking, sugar. I've tracked down the number 2 ranked fighter, name of Flyboy. Head to the forge and take him down.
No, I thought it was Fat Boy. Flyboy, okay. I figured that'd be pretty offensive, so. it's like you can't reference like almost the word fat has almost been like censored.
Yeah, delete
Can't
it
say that
from.
word anymore. And I get the feeling that most people, like in a day-to-day conversation, wouldn't get too offended
Most people have a
from.
fairly strong acknowledgement of like if they are in that position.
I mean, even if that were the case, I don't mean like obviously if you're being insulting and you're like straight up name calling them or whatever, straight to the face, sure they'd be offended. But I mean like using the term fat, like oh fat boy as like the nickname.
Yeah.
I get the feeling most people, even if they were fat, would not give a crap, and yet it's still highly avoided.
Taboo.
Right, taboo because of those reasons. It only really happened recently. They're within the last 10, 20 years. Used to be the edgy insult or the edgy thing to say or whatever. But anyways, I just find it interesting that I feel like most people are quite a bit more laid back.
Well, we're also used to like the social media world just dominating everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it is. It's like people aren't as laid back in social media.
And even today, like most people who live on social media all day, all the time, are the ones who seem to be like controlling sort of a political, a social narrative, if you would, instead of a little more broad spectrum.
Yeah.
And it's almost impressive how it's just like dominated, and it's become the zeitgeist for everything. Every conversation, every way we talk and communicate and participate with anybody, it's always just tied right back to that.
I mean, do you see how much people are on their phones?
It's
I'm always like blown away when
you hear the
when they're
numbers.
talking.
But we are on our computers all day in some way, shape, or form.
True. I am on my computer, but I do try to avoid social media quite a bit. I've been stopping even going to Reddit pretty often because, frankly, it's just a lot of garbage these days.
And anytime
It's
on Reddit,
all-
I just go straight to like the Unreal subreddit to look at
Yeah.
people's works, or it's just memes.
Yeah,
And I hate talking about it like that, because when we say those sort of things, it's like, well, that is social media,
sure.
and it's heavily filtered and centered to our being, but we're self-aware about what we want in our algorithms and what's fed to us. And I don't feel like we need to justify that. It's definitely not social media in the same way.
Well, there are definitely different kinds of like there's different pieces to that social media stuff. There's a
Yeah.
lot of negative news out there, and I think that we're just hyper aware of it. I personally try to avoid it. So if I see all this negative crap, or I feel myself starting to feel bad from reading these things, and I just stop.
Yeah, I definitely been getting better with that, and I do appreciate when you actually call it out. It's like, yeah, it kind of does need to be called out, particularly with people you do communicate with. It's like, here's less than savory news. It kind of needs its attention pulled away. Stop doing that.
I do that a bunch with like the regulations in AI, but I can't help it because that's a space that
We're so invested in.
I am intimately invested in this space as a means for the future of mankind. I'm that hopeful for the technology. It's not there yet, obviously.
Yeah.
It's kind of like pretty mediocre technology at the moment, but it's impressive. I've mentioned it before, and I think the potential in the future is very big, and because of that, I like to pay attention to it quite a bit.
Can
So
you
that
see-
one gets a pass, and I get the feeling there's a lot of people who would say the same thing to their own flavor of whatever that is to them. But
Can
I
you
still
s-
try to avoid even the negative news. There's regulation crap coming out every day, and I don't forward that all the time.
Do you like my gambling addiction showing up here in a game?
Does it stop whenever you get the weapon or whatever?
It can just it stops when I run out of resources that go into it. But how many tokens do you have now? Because I know you share those with me.
Oh, these actually give you the tokens. What do you mean? There's no grind if you can just keep gambling. I have 117.
Wow. I only have 62, and I haven't bought anything.
Neither
That's
have
just
I.
from me picking them up after I've been spending the grind money for it.
Then how in the world do we have the same amount?
Ah.
Well, that got us both. I was walking over here to gamble. How foolish of me. Alright, well, I think that's probably a good place to stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream on that.